So last week, we ended on you all starting a stakeout of one Mr. Harold Two Teeth McGoinigan, some crappy Scottish last name that looked cool, and that's why I used it, but I can't actually pronounce it. McAloidigan. There we go. AKA Harry the Tooth. You're starting your stakeout, and I think we're gonna start like this. So the camera fades in on a white on blue CRT computer screen, and you hear some chanting in the background. It's Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Bing, the computer goes, "You've got mail." The camera pulls back a little bit, and we see a scarred and bandaged body hulking over the comparatively tiny computer screen. You hear some clacking of keys, and a reply screen opens, and we see the words being typed. I have seen it. I have seen it. The camera tightens in on the screen, and you can just see, sort of the full screen is each character, and it reads out, "You are in danger." The camera falls out of focus, and it reacquires an image of the same sort of blue on white on green neon glow, but now we see it's a neon glow from lights near the bar where we last saw our heroes. Al is looking at his phone. You have 2 new messages. He clicks on the first one. I have seen it. I have seen it. You are in danger. Trust no one. The prophet will burn in the fires of Matica. As wheat from the chaff, the impure shall rise. The circle will never be broken until he comes. Allahu Akbar. Walk in his light. You will be free. Sergei. The second one is somewhat less serious. It says Peanuts Heart in the subject line. And it just says, yeah, I've heard of that guy. Real asshole. Has this real mean modified gun he used back in the war. It's like a mini spike thrower or something. Shit'll fucking waste you, kid. Might want to back the fuck off. I still have work for you idiots to do. And it's /peanuts at the end. I will put those 2 emails in the chat. The camera pulls back, as he's watching this. I don't know what his reaction's like, but you can tell us.
What my reactions are like?
Yeah, you were the one reading that.
Who's in the car with me? Is it just Tacitus?
I think all of you are probably in the car. I don't know if it's you at least are in the car because I put you there. I suspect all of you are on this stakeout, just because that makes it convenient for me, but maybe a couple of you are in the car and some of you are elsewhere. I don't know where you guys want to be.
I vaguely recall Judith had something to do, but I can't remember.
Did I?
Okay, I guess not.
It's been so long and I'm still eating, so I don't.
It's literally less than a week.
It's actually, this is the shortest interval between 2 games, I think, since we moved it to Saturday, because we did a Thursday-Saturday thing.
Shut up. I don't remember what I had for breakfast, damn it. You expect me to remember back to Sunday?
If there is a thing that you wanted to do in between the time where we left it and the stakeout, we can go put that in. But this is, just the cinematic opening. Shut up. Don't screw with my experience, okay? Worked hard on that shit. Yeah, so you guys are staking people out. I guess it doesn't actually matter where Al ends up, if he's in the car or elsewhere. I just, in my head, he was in a car, because I assume you're in a car eating donuts on a stakeout.
Absolutely. You have to have donuts, otherwise it's not a stakeout.
Yeah.
So, it's just an out.
Just an out.
It's fucking pathetic is what it is.
Yeah. So where are you guys situated? How have you arranged yourself around the bar?
Okay, quick question.
Sure.
Are we still in the car with the donut?
They're donuts?
With the, no, you mean with the spare tire?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was probably about 3 hours, maybe 4 hours before you started the stakeout, because it was like sort of mid-afternoon. So you might have.
We would have fixed that.
You probably had time to fix it. You might even have
days.
like spare full tires in the ship, just hanging around. I don't know. If you want to roll for that, you can roll for that. But it's pretty cheap to repair. You have insurance on the rental.
Roll for the spare tire.
I'm not gonna roll for it.
Roll for spare tire circumference.
And does anyone have, or I guess I should ask our psychic, do you have a psychic stun ability? Is that something that you could get? Or do you just not have it? Or does it not
definitely
exist?
don't have it. Most of my psychic stuff's gonna be like medically related.
What does the coma thing do? Does that need to be a willing target?
I think so.
I don't know.
I thought of this earlier, and I'm like, it would be pretty overpowered if you could just walk up and put anybody in a coma whenever you wanted.
I think it's a willing target. Let's see.
Biostasis can maintain the vital life processes of a mortally wounded teammate with a touch.
Ah, mortally wounded and teammate are the two words there. So, teammate indicates to me that it needs to be friendly.
How can a person who's mortally wounded have any effects on that?
Well, I mean, it needs to be. They need to be
Essentially about to die.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, it's not the mortally wounded part. It's the friendly part, right? Like, this is a ludo narrative dissonance, right? Like, the game wants you to it doesn't want you to be able to do what I'm thinking about what I would do with this. Like, if I were playing a biopsionic, I would try to use biostasis to like knock people out, and the game doesn't want you to do that because that would be stupidly overpowered. So.
Technically, I shouldn't have been able to fucking biostasis Sergey, though, either.
Well, so the way I'm going to interpret that is people who aren't actively hostile to the idea of you saving their life or, like, being indebted to you in that way. Because, like, you don't necessarily know this because some of that information that you received was not totally in character, right? Like, the fact that he's in a religious environment now and he's, like, had a transformative experience. It was effective for Sergey when that happened. And like people, if they're not prepared for that or like not open to that, that would be a reason why they couldn't. And I'm defining enemies to be those sorts of people. So like if you tried to do that on Vasily, it probably wouldn't have worked. Or it would have like fizzled out, right? Like it would like, okay, well you tried, but your best effort failed. He's dead. Anyway, I do think there are some psychic like stun things, but they might be in metapsionics. I forget, and they might only work against other psychics.
I have a couple more other questions about the setting. So in our stakeout, how public is this bar? Is this like off on a side street, or is
You're
this
kind
like
of
a main
like
thoroughfare?
You're kind of like in a seedy part of town. Like it's not. This is not a nice upscale bar that has like a single adjective as its name. Like it's like but it's some Irish dive that this guy has been running probably for 30 years, and it's locals and drunks and degenerates and that sort of thing. You're kind of like in the shitty part of Detroit.
And
which is saying something, by the way, because Detroit's pretty shitty.
Fuck Detroit.
I mean, just look at their football team.
I know, right?
And in the act of executing this this bounty, are we technically breaking the law?
None of you, as far as I know, are licensed. So the law is a fluid thing, right? Like, technically, yeah, but because you're pursuing a bounty, it's not like the cops are going to be looking for you. The cops also don't know that you're breaking the law in doing this. It's not really wrong because you are chasing a fugitive and you are doing, good, right? Nobody likes this guy. But at the same time, it's not totally legal. So like if you hurt other people, the cops might get involved and then, charge you. You don't like have a right to run around and do whatever you want. You're still operating as private citizens and therefore are subject to the law. Not that that's been a problem for you traditionally.
Okay, and one final question. Are there any like parking garages around this bar?
Roll tactics against your intelligence. Yeah, so there's it's sort of a lot of low buildings around. The street's pretty wide, maybe 100 feet wide or something. And there aren't like parking garages, but there are, low buildings, abandoned buildings, places you could, squirrel away and hide, and observe with a pretty clear line of sight. Yeah, I mean, the street's pretty busy. There's plenty of cars on it. And, the area around the bar is pretty open. There's a big parking lot that sort of wraps around the building. A fence to one side with all like the dumpsters, sort of an alleyway. It looks like there might be a door back there. You see some light coming through it. If you were to walk around the building, you could get some more information about it.
Okay, I'm thinking I take my sniper rifle and go get in a position where I can observe the bar.
Okay.
Thoughts from the retinue?
I'm assuming that you just walking around with a sniper rifle is probably going to raise some suspicions.
He's got a box. It comes in a box.
Yeah, I do have the toolbox. I don't know if it was ever made clear, but I had it in the toolbox for the last mission.
Yeah.
So I presume I would keep the toolbox.
Yeah. It comes in like one of those nice black boxes, and you can like outfit it to look kind of however you want. There are plenty of boxes on the ship that you could like use to store things.
Wait, so we're...
I'm fine with that. I got donuts to eat.
So we're going to try and snipe this fool?
Here's what I'm thinking. This is like best case scenario. We see him go into the bar. He drinks. He leaves the bar. We shoot him when he comes out of the bar. You hit him with the biostasis, and then we go turn in the bounty.
So he is a guy that biostasis would not work on. He does not like you. He's not a teammate.
Okay.
He would out of spite choose to die rather than have the likes of you save him.
Was it 50 grand for the
it's
the dead body?
100 alive, 75 dead.
So, 75 is still pretty good.
Yeah. Is there a notion of like a disabling shot, or is...
With the sniper rifle? No.
Okay.
If you shoot him and he doesn't know, he has to make that physical save. Otherwise, he's dead. If you shoot him and he's not dead, then he might be willing to talk terms, or he might just try to shoot you, depending on whether he sees you.
Considering the reputation of this guy,
I mean, he might start shooting other people too, just because he's an asshole. You don't really know anything about the guy, other than that he killed 10 people. So, chances are he's not going to act rationally.
I say if we take the shot, we do not make ourselves known to him and start talking to him, because he seems like the kind of person that would probably try and murder us.
Makes sense.
So snipe, if we miss, we duck our heads and let him pass by and try and run away maybe. And maybe he will walk away.
Well, you guys are still on the ground. You maybe have a reaction shot you could take, or...
Yeah, that would also make us known that we're shooting at him. If you're sniping, you may not know where you are.
Okay. I'm fine with that. What happens if he runs, though? Are you going to tail him, or...?
Big guy that is likely to tear off my head and start chewing it like a gumball. I don't think that's a wise idea to follow him. I'm going to stay in the car here with Price eating donuts.
All right. I'll go get out, get to a better vantage site.
I can be a spotter for you, but I'm not shooting at him on the ground.
I will let Tacitus know that I got an email from Peanuts letting him know that he apparently has a modified stake thrower and isn't friendly.
Did you just say a modified steak thrower?
I did.
I like steak.
T-bones, or... Yeah. All right, we can stick with the sniper rifle plan.
I can help you spot, or I can stay in the car and eat donuts with Price here. Which do you want?
You should spot.
I will spot.
More donuts for me.
Save me a honeydew and a crawler.
the hell is a honeydew?
I've never heard of a crawler.
Okay. He means a cruller, first of all,
Sorry.
which is a twisted cake donut, usually. It's usually glazed,
I know.
etc.
Okay, I googled
And then a
honeydew.
honeydew is a kind of glazed donut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically a glazed donut, except that a lot of times they make it with honey. Like if they do it right, they make it with honey. Anyway, so it sounds like Tess is going to be up in a building. Al is going to be in the car eating donuts. Where's Judy going to be?
With
With
Tacitus
Tacitus.
acting as a spotter.
Okay, so you're up with Tacitus, attempting to help him observe. Do you have any sort of implement to assist you in that regard?
Don't we have binoculars from the last mission?
I don't know. Do you?
I don't have it in my inventory.
Uh,
I felt like I maybe bought one at one time and then decided against it.
I thought we bought one during the last mission before Judy came on.
Wait,
I vaguely recall that you were using your sniper rifle to see into the building.
I don't think so, or else that Russian guy would have been a lot more suspicious.
Fair enough.
But I admittedly do not have it in my.
Well, you didn't even get a chance to like set up.
Well, it was also
True.
back when we were doing surveillance, when you had one of the guys up there with you, looking across. You were probably using your sniper rifle, and the other guy was using binoculars.
Mm-hmm.
I,
Yeah, those were his binoculars.
those were his binoculars.
Yeah, he has stuff. He's allowed to have stuff. NPCs have things. That's how you got most of your shit.
I don't have anything except
Well,
for woven body armor.
No, I gave
that's
you
how your
the-
previous guy.
I gave you the silenced SMG. Remember?
That and that
Yeah, I mean,
too.
you guys are not inconsiderately armed. Like you do have decent guns.
Still, spike thrower.
Do you know what a spike thrower does? I mean,
It sounds like a giant nail gun.
it's By the way, it's a modified mini mag rifle. So
What's the range on that?
I don't look in the. You don't know what a modified mini mag rifle is. You don't know how we modified it, but you can, based on the fact
300 to 600 meters.
that's for a regular mag rifle, and this is a mini mag rifle, so it stands to reasonably shorter.
Oh, good. So
I'm not super concerned.
it's like a railgun. Awesome.
Basically, yeah. I'm not saying like it's a trivial gun, but
And now you understand my hesitation. I kind of like having non-foot and a half wide holes in the middle of my body.
Hey,
They have spike throwers listed as shotguns, though, with considerable less range.
yes. So it would not put a foot and a half hole in your body, Tim. It would just pierce your body, and you would explode into a fine mist.
Oh,
Hey,
great! So that's even better.
While I don't know all that much about most guns, I do know a fair amount about rail guns, having tried to build a few before. And it turns out that you can accelerate things pretty quick with electromagnets, and it is not an inconsiderable problem when you hit a wall with them.
Something tells me Luke was involved in this construction and planning.
No, I did this with some rare earth magnets and too much time on my hands in college. I ended up having to pay some security deposit. I did not get the security deposit back. Let me put it that way. Yeah. Pro tip: don't shoot them inside.
Really now?
It's probably good advice for any gun, really.
Pretty much. I'm missing my copper D20. That's really sad.
I'm feeling pretty confident about this plan. We'll be a far enough distance away. My sniper rifle is silenced. If we fail, we can beat a hasty retreat, and he'll be none the wiser. Well, I mean, he'd probably hear the bullet hitting near him if I missed. But I imagine it might be difficult for him to determine where it came from.
And that's the point of us not revealing ourselves. That and me becoming a misty, bloody mess also not on my to-do list or bucket list. At least
All
for
right.
this week.
I'm
Maybe
liking
next
this plan.
week.
I hope he shows up.
All right, so are you all decided on where you're going to be?
Yes. Well, at least I am.
Judy is with Tacitus, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So let's, this is sort of like we flash back to the planning at some point during the show, and then we come back to the remainder of the opening scene, and we see Tacitus set up in a abandoned building across the street. He's got a good view of the front of the bar. Judy's with him. She's in another window, giving him another angle so she can get a sense of depth and so on. And you see the car is sort of situated a little bit off to one side further back, and we can see Al sitting in the car. He's looking at his phone, and he sees those two messages. You probably call to tell them about the mag rifle, and that's how they get that information. Or you text them, maybe. Texting, I think, makes more sense.
Yeah.
And so we see the little, the Sherlock text pop up, and you see he's got a mag rifle or something. And we're sitting there, and you see like the classic little time pop up on screen, and then it starts to tick at regular speed, then a little bit faster, then really fast. And a few hours go by, and one of you needs to roll a luck check.
I already rolled one.
I feel like it should be me since I'm in the car.
Okay.
Go for it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh.
so the time spins and spins and spins, and it comes around to 7 o'clock in the morning, and you haven't seen your target. You are all quite tired, and it looks like maybe he's not going to show up in the evening, certainly. What do you guys want to do?
Perhaps we go to bed and come back and spend the next day looking through and waiting later.
I'd be up for one more day of this.
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go into the bar.
Okay. So yeah, we see maybe Judy and Tacitus are talking about what their plans are. Maybe we should go in and we'll come back tomorrow or whatever. And you just hear a car door open, and Al gets out and walks into the bar. You open the door, and there are a few people around. There's one guy in the back that you can't quite make out. There's sort of a haze of smoke. The bartender recognizes you and says, "Hey, you're back here again?"
Yeah, I was wondering if you serve coffee.
Irish coffee?
Yeah. Can I get two?
Sure.
I had a long night.
And he's, goes behind the bar and starts, pouring out coffee, and he puts it's mostly whiskey. It's like there's a soupçon of coffee in what is inevitably incredibly cheap Irish whiskey. And he puts them both in front of you, and he goes, "Here you go." And it'll be, 20 credits or something.
Put down 30. Never introduced myself the other night. I'm Patrick. I'm fucking Patrick. God damn it. I'm Al.
He looks at you and says, "Hey Al, I'm gonna need to generate a name. I'm Jake. It's his name."
I was also hoping maybe, I know you won't give out any information.
Don't even ask the question.
I'm just wondering what he did to piss you off.
He didn't do anything to piss me off. That guy's the nicest guy I've ever met.
Well, I've been hearing about everything I've heard about him. He's just this giant
Don't
asshole.
ask the question. Do you understand what I'm telling you right now? Drink your coffee and get out of the bar. And he's gritting his teeth and smiling at you and sort of trying to make conversation.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. You know where I can get any good food that's not a greasy shithole around here?
No. Probably back at your ship.
I finish my whiskeys and leave back to the car.
Yeah, as you're walking out, can you make a perception against your wisdom? As you're walking out, right as you're opening the door, you feel a hard chiseled hand that's very calloused grasp your shoulder.
Turn around.
Hey, mate.
What's up, buddy?
Who you looking for?
I'm looking for a guy with one tooth.
He smiles, and you see he's missing all but one tooth, or no, all but two teeth. I'm sorry. And he goes, "Aye, you looking for Ari?"
Yeah.
He pulls you back inside, and the door slams shut. You found him, and he just like grasps you by the shoulder, and he's holding you very still. Tacitus, you and Judith probably both see this because you're watching the door. So you just see a hand reach out, and you can see him physically pulled back into the bar.
That's not good.
No.
Not liking that.
No. Should we get our SMGs and raid it?
Let's play this quiet for now.
Alright.
I think we should wait and see how this develops.
Okay.
So
we
we
don't have a sight on the room.
we see the cameras sort of hovering outside the window and bouncing back and forth between Judith and Tacitus. And he says, we're going to see how this plays out, and it snaps back to Al, who's now sitting in that back corner with Harry the Tooth.
Quick question. Do
Go ahead.
we have vision on where they're sitting, or are they
No.
blocked from us? Okay.
It's a big brick building with tinted out windows, like you can't see anything. In fact, the bartender comes out from the bar, and you see a couple people leave. And so maybe you see like a glimpse of the back of the bar, but you can't really make anybody out. It's too much of a light differential. You see a couple people leave kind of in a hurry, and then the lights go off, and like the close sign pops up in the door. Inside the bar, we see Harry say, "He's going to need another coffee, mate," and walks back with Al. The bartender dutifully comes by and puts down the coffee. Harry pays for it, and he looks at you and he goes, "What are you looking for, me lad?"
I just got this new job and I got sent here looking for you. They didn't tell me why.
"What do you do for a living, mate?"
Not gonna lie, I used to have a whole lot of money and then family kind of fucked it all and I was a hobo for a while, so I'll do anything you give me enough money.
"Aye, mate, I know the kind." "Well, who hired you? Do you know?"
No, there was a flyer, some piece of paper, I think.
"You work with a crew?"
Aye.
"Don't try to imitate me, lad." And
My
he's
apologies.
he's giving you this just deadly stare. He goes, "What kind of flyer was it, lad? I know you know."
Normally I'd lie, but I'll go ahead and level with you. It was a bounty poster.
"Aye, you're trying to collect the bounty?"
No. I've never
What?
even fired a gun, mate.
"Alright, I told you once, I won't tell you again. Don't try to imitate me. It makes me..." And he grits his teeth, and you can hear, like, grinding, angry.
Oh, see? He can't grit his teeth. He's only got one tooth. But
Well,
I
he
don't wanna
like
piss
grits
him
his.
off.
Okay, well, he grits something. Okay,
He grits his
you can hear bones cracking in his neck and in his maybe in his fist. Like you can hear his knuckles crack. He's got one hand on the table, and you can hear his other knuckles crack. And you're right, he can't grit his teeth. But he goes, "It makes me angry."
Fair enough.
Now,
I'm just doing the bitch work.
no shit, lad. You're right here. You're about to get your face blown off. You don't answer my questions in a way I like. All right, where are your friends located?
They were supposed to be in the car, and then they left, said they were going to go somewhere. I don't know where they're at.
Aye. Where's the car? Front or back?
It's across the street from the front door.
He looks around the room, and he looks for the exits in the building, and he sees there's bathrooms sort of in the back, along the back wall, and there's a side door that leads out to the alley. And he goes, "All right, mate. Here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna go out with me, and we're gonna go to my car, and then we're gonna drive away. And if you're lucky, I'll toss you out on the side of the road."
Okay.
And he goes, "But first," and he looks at you and he goes, "Stand up a minute." And you can hear a click at his side.
Stand up.
He goes, "Aye, that's about right. Can you roll a luck check?"
I hope I don't get my dick blown off. God damn it, really?
He goes, "You're exactly my size, laddie." And he takes off his coat. He just like sort of takes off his coat, takes off his belt, and gives you his hat, and says, "Put those on."
I do.
And he said, and he takes your clothes and he puts them on over him, and he says, "All right, go out the front door, laddie."
I walk out the front door.
And he's walking out the side door, and he's like holding the door open a little bit as the front door opens. Tacitus and Judith, you see the front door open, and someone matching the description of Harold, your target, walks out. I am trusting you two to not metagame this, because you obviously know which one's which. What does your character honestly do in that situation?
I only have one question before I respond. Was there a comm channel open the entire time?
No. You rolled 2 ones on your luck save? No. You have no fucking clue who's who. He probably took the phone. Like, he took it right out of his, or it's in his pocket or something of his coat. And so he has his phone.
I mentioned to Tacitus. Looks like our target's over there.
It does indeed. I'm going to take the shot.
Fire when ready.
So, Judy, you're helping him, so you can make a combat projectile check, and that'll give him a plus. It's going to be more than a +1. We like a. We'll figure out how that works in a minute. You're gonna make a combat projectile check, and then we're gonna figure out the bonus that it gives you. Sniper rifles, just do a normal hit. What's your AC, Al?
5.
Okay.
Is this against my int or dex?
It is against your int, because you're helping him in a spotting mentality. So you're giving him a range, you're giving him angles, windage, that kind of thing. It's pretty close range, so you don't have to do much. That's going to affect your DC, not his.
May the odds be ever in your favor, Butch.
You know, I'm not sure if I would make a perception check or not to confirm it's the target. And I don't know if it's fair to say that, sort of having additional knowledge.
I think I should give you a perception check. So go ahead and make a perception wisdom.
I think I will say if this fails.
Let's look at your beliefs, because your beliefs might be informative here. And you also, like, your past history as a character has been to be relatively cautious. Not cautious in the sense of being, you're cautious with other people more than you are with yourself. Telling the truth is always the correct course of action. I cannot die. Yeah.
Maybe maybe I could get away with it, because I have a belief of I'm pretty good at sniffing out bullshit.
I would say yes. That is, you probably get a bad feeling about this. In fact, that's exactly, you probably say that. I've got a bad feeling about this. Your last goal on this list doesn't make a lot of sense to me, Tim. You'll have to explain what you mean by that and how you think that'll be completed.
Fair enough.
But
I
yeah,
might
so you
actually
can make you
revise
go
that.
ahead and Judith can make a perception check. I think that maybe Tacitus he might, but at the same time he's also like you can be pretty gung ho and you're just willing to take a shot.
All right,
Sometimes
I'm gonna say no
yeah.
then.
Yeah, but Judith I would believe would because you're probably getting a bad sense about all this.
In or wisdom?
Wisdom. Yeah, so I think you see like the dramatic moment is he's walking out of the front door and you probably hear another door open and see like a glint on the side and it's you get a close up of Tacitus's trigger finger as the crosshairs center over the head or no probably like center mass of Alistair and you just hear Judith like harshly whisper, "Wait," you know, and the trigger finger comes right off, very disciplined, and we see at the last minute, Al looks up and you can see it's Al's face. Al, what do you do now that you're outside and they haven't shot you?
I try to like point over to motion to like to the side door, like with my finger, like over there.
Yeah. So, Tacitus, can you make a tactics check against your intelligence? I'm going to see how good your position is. Yeah, so you don't have a particularly good shot around the corner. He has cover from the building. You can kind of see some flapping and some movement back there, but you can't see. You can't really see the target. And you hear the door shut. It clacks closed. What do you guys want to do?
Is there a place we can relocate to get a better angle?
I mean, you could probably run to the other side of the building. It's maybe, only 30 or 40 feet. It's not, I mean, it's kind of like an abandoned floor. So like all the non-supporting walls have fallen away. And so you can just sort of run across the whole width of the building. There's another window at sort of the far end that you might be able to get a better shot from.
What do you think, Judith? I can't see anything from here.
If we're lucky, he'll go down the road if we relocate to the other side of the building. If we go quick enough, we may be able to get a good shot.
How dense is this building? Are we just at a window, or is it sort of like? I'm trying to get a sense of how.
It's like a
other people-
dilapidated house. So it's like a 2x4s, a bit of insulation, drywall kind of thing.
So would you say it would be difficult for people to see other people moving in said house?
If they were, how'd you do on that initial tactics check? You did a 9. I'm gonna say that you pick the house that is hardest to see people. It's not impossible. There are holes and you can see movement and stuff, but it's the one with the best front on it, so it has like the most amount of cover, and it also like you put like pallets and stuff up, so it's more obfuscated, breaks up your silhouette more.
All right, Judith, I like this plan. Let's relocate.
All right.
Okay, let me do a thing here. What is his? It's physical effect. Wisdom -1. Okay, he's gonna make. Yeah. So how are we gonna do this? How far away is he? I just gotta map this out in my brain for a second. Where'd I put that pencil? Oh, that's where I put it. And okay, so this is a building. I'm gonna say it's like 15 meters across the road, and then there's like another let's say 3 meters to the the bar, and then we do this, He's around here, so this has got to be another 5 meters. It's 4, 8, 15. That's like 20. Okay. So, I think the next thing that you guys hear is a shout. And it's, I'm not going to actually shout, I'm just going to speak it, but it's shouting. And he goes, Al, get your stinky white arse around the building.
I put my head down and walk around the corner.
The next thing that you hear is the impact of flechettes against the building across the street. A few of them have come through the bar. I said, get your ass back here, white boy.
I thought I was going.
No, you're coming with me. I told you the plan. And
No, I mean like OOC. Like I said, put my head down, and, like walk around
okay.
the corner. Like
I didn't realize you were. I thought you were like you're putting your head down and walking away.
No,
So
like walking towards him. Sorry.
okay, which are you walking down the alley or on the other way?
Whatever direction he's at, like I'm going to him. Like I'm listening. I'm not gonna fuck with that guy.
Okay, so let's say you're walking down the alley.
Cooperating.
Okay, let me do a thing while I'm talking about this. So he sees you come around the corner. He does not shoot the gun, as I had said before. He doesn't do that. And can Judith and Tassus both roll an athletics dexterity check?
Why is there an artist skill?
Because someday you might need to assess some art.
Jesus.
We
How the hell am
actually
I
can
rolling
roll.
ones, dude?
All
I'm
right,
feeling.
yeah, it probably shouldn't have been you who rolled the initial thing. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. All right, hang on. I'm going to draw some buildings here. And then we want a blue building. Okay, and then so let me draw some, or drag in some people. We have Judith, we have Alistair, we have Tacitus. Tacitus doesn't have I gotta put in a generic thing for Tacitus. This one is Tacitus. Alright. I don't know if you can control that, Tacitus, but okay, and then we need one more generic guy.
This will be my image.
Did you put it in chat or something?
No, whatever you picked is good. I remember when we used this.
The little generic dude?
Yeah, with the headband or sweatband.
No, that's
Price.
Al.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Awful.
That was my hobo suit when I was doing the Rambo bodyguard thing,
Oh.
complete with shitty drawn rifle that I cut off for my profile picture.
Okay, and this guy back here, I guess you guys technically don't know he's there yet, so I'm gonna move him. So he's somewhere back here. And there is fencing up above at the top of the map here, and then there's probably a couple of like low cover things. I'm gonna make those green. Green means low cover. These are like trash bins and boxes and so on. And then finally we have doors, which will be a nice shade of yellow. or not, because that doesn't show up very well. Which will be a nice shade of dark orange. That shows up better. So there's a door here. There's a door here. It's maybe a little bigger. And there's a little window here, which will just make it like a small door. There we go. Okay. So this is sort of the layout. The middle empty section here is a road. There are a few cars strewn around, but you guys are a couple stories up, maybe I'd say 3 stories up, kind of at the top level of this building. You're able to get across the building in no time flat, so you're there within seconds. You probably pre-prepped and cleared out a path from one side of the building to the other. And you hear this shouting. It's a little bit more indistinct for you, but you kind of get the gist that there's someone calling for Al, and Al is slowly walking around the building. Can you all roll initiative? Oh man,
You didn't roll shit this time, Butch.
you did not. All right, so it's Judith.
I forget. Is it low numbers that are good for this, or
High numbers.
High.
High numbers
Okay.
are, in general, except for AC, high numbers are what you want. All the stats checks are higher numbers are better. All of the saves are higher numbers are better. Skill checks are high numbers are better. It's just AC that works the other way. Because it doesn't use THAC, it uses the old style, falling AC, which I actually like a lot better personally, but makes the attack roll a little bit easier to calculate. Anyway, so you're hearing this screaming from this crazed Scottish man. You haven't heard the gunshot yet because, oh my god, I left all these people in here. Iago, Tito, Malcolm's dead. I think it's the right order. Yeah. Okay. So you're hearing all this shouting from this crazed Scottish guy. He's calling for Al to walk around back with him. You can't see him yet. You don't know exactly where he is. He's sort of he's probably yeah. So you don't know where he is. Judith, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I just want to hold my action and watch over.
Okay. So I would say you
But-
guys are like here.
Yeah.
And you're both close enough that you can see. The line of sight isn't perfect here, but you can see pretty clearly down that alley, the both of you, at least to like here-ish. It gets a little bit fuzzier around here. Okay, so you're holding Tacitus. What are you gonna do?
Is there an aim?
I believe there is a name.
Okay. I didn't think there was.
They require a steady rest and a full round of aiming to be fired at best efficiency. So that's for sniper rifles. I don't think there's an aim action, but you do have to provide a full round of rest, a full round of aiming to be fired at good efficiency. So you can spend this round aiming.
Even though I don't have a target.
Yeah, you're just aiming down the alley, prepared. It's sort of
Okay.
like if you're playing Counter-Strike, right? And you're camping like an asshole, and you're looking and like watching an area and aiming, even though there's nobody there. You're waiting for a target to show up.
All right.
You're calculating angles, windage, that kind of thing. All right, so I'm going to put in A in your thing for aimed. Al, what are you doing?
Without having a phone or any form of communication, I don't realize that they're setting up other than what they've already done. So I'm going to continue walking down the alley towards.
If you want to roll your tactics against your intelligence, you might know that just because you're familiar with your team, right? Like you might think, well, yeah, they're going to go. They saw me come out. They didn't shoot me. I know they were watching. That's a reasonable thing to argue for.
What am I rolling the tactics against?
Your intelligence. I say this because I don't want to get you to be trapped in one line of reasoning. Otherwise, you're going to have a pretty boring time walking down Death Alley. I mean, anyway, yeah. So you probably understand they're going to reposition. It's probably valuable to buy time. You don't necessarily know exactly where they're going to be. You don't have the same sort of tactical sense that would let you know that. But
I'm gonna try to like feign drunkenness, considering I slammed 3 giant whiskeys and trip over the box about here,
okay, so you're
and like make as loud a noise as I can.
yeah. So you just hear crashing, bottles breaking. You probably get like minor cuts. They don't do any damage, but minor cuts, and you fall flat, and you're on your face, prone. Hence the P. Harold, let's see. He's going to need to make it perception. -1 is his whiz, I believe. Wisdom -1. Yeah, he doesn't. He believes. He's like, you drunk bastard, get up and get back here. I haven't got all day. And you particularly can now see easily that he's sort of snuck around this corner, and he's like motioning for you to come. Get up off your ass, you white asshole. The other two of you will need to roll a perception check to see if you can see him.
To see if we can see.
The target, Harold.
Okay.
That is against int, I would imagine.
It's going to be against wisdom.
Wisdom it is.
Yeah, Tacitus, you don't know he's there. Judith, you can just see him eking around the corner. You can tell he's got some cover from the building, which gives him a little bit of like bonus AC. But yeah, Tacitus, you don't see him at all yet. You probably were distracted. Like you probably heard the crash and like pointed your sniper rifle over at it to see what was going on. All right. So Harold is, I think he's just waiting too. I mean, he's just, all right. It went around a full round, so you no longer have the held action. What do you want to do, Judith?
Am I able to help Tacitus aim as well as tell him I think I saw Harold peeking
Yeah,
around
so you
the
can
corner?
you can do the same thing as before, and it'll give him another opportunity to have a perception check. That'll be your turn. So you'll give him an extra perception check with your turn. So
I'll do that.
okay, Tacitus, go ahead and make another against your whiz. Okay, yeah. So you're still having a hard time like getting your bearings through the scope and everything, and it's still you can't quite see him. You can hear some movement though, so you know he's back there. You can try one more time. You are still aimed. 'Cause you haven't taken a shot yet, so
So I can try a third perception for my turn?
yeah. So Judith gave you an extra one, basically. Gave you an extra opportunity, and then for your turn,
Okay.
you can try to perceive him again, or you can do something else. If you just want to shoot to scare him or something, that's reasonable.
No, I'll try perception one more time.
Yeah, so you see him poke around the corner. You can see his shoulder, and you see like probably his jawline kind of sticking out. You notice that he's wearing like whatever. What were you wearing before, Al? Were you wearing your suit?
Kind of sad about it, yeah, because I would have worn the nice, expensive suit that we kind of got from that one mission.
Yeah, so right now you're wearing like a sort of leather duster, probably your Oxford underneath it still, like the white dress shirt. Not your tie. He took your tie, but you're wearing like his duster. It's a little bit long on you, but not. It's pretty good fit actually. And then you have like a ball cap that smells pretty greasy. You probably have lice now.
Space
Yeah, so
lice.
Tacitus, you were able to see him. That was your turn though, just getting your bearings on it. So you are aimed and you know that he's there. You can see him. Al, it's your turn. You're prone. What do you want to do?
I'm going to continue to try to act drunk and crawl over the box and fall over again.
Okay, so now you're sort of on the other side of this low box. It's like a wooden box, so it would stop like some basic shrapnel and that kind of thing. It wouldn't stop a bullet, but it'll give you a little bit of extra AC. And you're still prone, so you actually get extra AC for that too. Less from Harold, more from him. 37 is actually about right, by the way. This is roughly to scale. So, yeah. And then, yeah, so that's your turn. You can just make some more noise and crash around a bit. I think, let's see if Harold detects your ruse. Yeah, so at this point, he's realizing that you're probably play acting a little bit. And he goes, all right, boy, get your ass over here. I'm done with your fucking games. I know you're not that drunk. He's come around the full time. And I think, let's see, what is he going to do? I think you hear this ringing, loud boom from behind the bar. And then about, like, over the course of the round, you just hear like random tinging and like things hitting the ground, because he basically shot up in the air, and that's all he does this turn. But it's this loud, god awful sound. Judith, what do you want to do?
Am I able to help Tacitus aim or anything like that?
Yes,
Like
you can
better?
make your projectile int check. Combat projectile int.
I will do that.
That'll give him a +1 on his shot. Yep. So you got a +1 on your. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna give you a +2 because the DC there is 7. So for every number you get over 7, I'm gonna give him an extra 1 on his roll. So Tacitus, you can see this guy's arm, his jawline, and parts of like his face and torso and stuff. But he's pretty well covered. He has an AC of -1. All told. That's his armor and his cover.
AC of -1. So I'd have to roll
You have a bonus
really
of 2.
well.
So you have
Yeah.
a bonus of 2 from Judith. So you're rolling effectively against an AC of 1. And then if you have any combat proficiency skill, that kind of thing, that also factors in.
Vaguely recall there being a +1 the last time I did this for something.
You have combat projectile weapons is negative. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at Al. My bad.
No, my projectile is -1.
Okay, so you're at a -1 for your projectile. You have +2 from Judith. You have -1 for his AC, so that's a 0. So you'd have to roll a natural 20 as it is.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Good try, Judith. I still don't have the shot. We need to do something to get him to come out more.
Alright.
I'm going to briefly consider my options.
Should I maybe
Okay.
go through the bar and with an SMG to try and shoo him out of that corner and go into the alley so you can take a shot?
That would happen. I'm afraid of other people in the bar interacting in a negative way with you.
Why? Is this something because I'm a girl?
No, you just expressed a reticence of actually shooting people, and so if there are people who start shooting you in the bar, that would complicate the situation.
It's not like I'm gonna shoot people in the bar. I'm gonna go around the back through the bar or around the other side of the bar and shoot down
Okay.
the alley where Harold is and try and shoo him out into the alley where Al is.
All right. Let me do a quick distance check there. That's like
It's probably a 40
50
meter,
meters.
yeah, 40 meter run. 40, 50. If you basically, so you're on the 3rd floor, so you need to run downstairs and then across the road. The road is probably about 40 meters across. And then downstairs is probably another 10. So yeah, you got about 50 meters to run. You'd have to make an athletics check to figure out how long it takes.
I like this plan. I think you should go for it.
Alright. I will make an athletics check.
Although I have a follow-on question. Do I
go
get
ahead.
to keep that +2 for the help, or is that gone now? Was that like a temporary thing?
I think you'll probably get it as long as he stays where he is. But if he moves a lot, you're gonna lose it.
Okay.
Right, like if he's within this sort of like 1 or 2 squares of where he is, or like actually probably 1.5 squares of where he is. He's kind of on a half square at the moment. You probably preserve it, but sorry, I'm opening up sheets here. Yeah, so if he like flushes out of the building and runs 10 meters away, you're going to lose whatever benefit of windage you have, and other snipery words. Okay.
Okay.
So, Judy, you can roll a athletics check against. Probably it's either your strength or dex, which they are the same. So, roll just 2d6.
Before I actually do this, I also make the comment, what if I go down to the alley, play pretend I am Al's girlfriend, call him a cheating bastard, and start trying to drag him away into a car and drive away?
A little bit more bold, but it'd be less distance to cover.
That's right. You do have the car, which I imagine is like here. This is a resource which, why is that? Oh, I put it in freehand, my bad. You have the car, which is like right there, which is a resource available to you. I forgot to draw it.
What should I do?
I like your option to go around. I think it's a lot smarter to flush him out into where I can take a shot, and then.
Alright. I'll go for the flush then. Either way, I'm gonna have to run. See you later.
Oh wow, that's a good roll.
That's
That
double
is the best roll.
double natural crits, dude.
Yeah, it's too bad you had the -1. Let me think about this for a second. So, say it was a DC 9, so you got 2 over the top. It was going to take you 5 turns at a 9. Well, actually, no. What was the run? I think it's 20 meters. So I guess it'd be you're running downstairs. Okay, I'll say it's 3 turns. You rolled 2 over it. I'm going to say that knocks off 1.
So 2
so if you
turns.
got, yeah, so it's going to take you 2 turns. So I'm going to put a 2 in here. Oh, thank you.
Yep. I'll spend the 1 turn I already am on, so this will go down to 1.
Yep. So next turn you'll have a rot. So I'll move your token to where you are. You bolt down the stairs. You sort of like just hold the loose railings with. I guess you have gloves on or something, and you just scoot down them. No splinters or anything because you're awesome. And you get out to the middle of the road pretty quickly. You actually probably like jump through an open hatch. You don't actually go through the door. You like jump out of a window or something. There's some spree that like shrapnel that comes with you as you jump out, and you're like running in air, and it slows down. It's pretty awesome. That is your turn, Tacitus. What are you doing?
I continue to aim.
All right, so you're just holding there. So you are aimed with a held action. Is how I'm gonna say that. So, A, H. Al, you're prone. He knows that you're faking at this point. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna walk up to like right about here, and like get down on my hands and knees, like at his feet, just begging him not to kill me. Please don't kill me, like crying.
Okay. Yeah, so are you faking being scared or are you actually scared?
Actually scared.
Okay, that makes sense to me. So he's gonna think about this for a second. I think that I don't think he believes you, so he's gonna make another. Yeah, so let me think about what that means. So he doesn't believe. He thinks you're being dishonest. He thinks you're trying to get out of this, and so he's trying to like figure out. Well, and he's like conflicted about it, so he's trying to like understand. And I think he falls down. He failed the check, so it's good for you. So I think he goes, all right, fine. And he sort of like kneels down, and reaches out an arm to like pull you along. He's like, you don't have a chase here, lad. You have to come with me. And you see in his other arm, like his other hand, it looks like a double-barreled blunderbuss, if that makes sense. And it's got written on the side, Matilda. just sort of like etched in with like almost looks like a knife. Someone just scratched it in, and you see around its hilt there's like a glowing blue pad, and it's got two like hammers on the back that are cocked back. Well, one of them is cocked back, the other one isn't. Yeah, so he's just reaching out and trying to get you to like come over to him, and he doesn't want to get out of cover. But Tacit, you can see his whole arm now. And let's see, Judith, it's your turn. I assume you're still running.
Yep.
You get around to here. You're right at the corner now. So next turn you'll be able to act from that position.
Sweet deal.
Tacitus, you're up. Your held action is expired, so you just aimed. What do you want to do?
What's his AC now? Is that something I can know?
Yeah, I think if you want to blow off his arm, he's probably at just the AC 3 that he is normally. If you want to actually kill him, he's still at that AC -1, because you'd have to get a headshot.
I'm gonna hold again.
Patience. All right, Al. He's reached out. He's probably like grabbed your forearm or something. He's like pulling on you. What do you want to do? He's about your size, by the way. I'll give you some perspective.
I want to grab him and pull him out into the alley with me.
All right. Go. We're gonna do an opposed check. So he's gonna make a strength check against. He needs something here. I'm sure there's a skill for this. It might be athletics. It might be combat unarmed. That feels like maybe what it is. I think there's no grappling skill. Is there?
We definitely grappled once before, and I forget what we did.
There might be grappling rules.
It's the opposed hugging skill.
The bad touch skill.
You touched me in my special place.
Well, you didn't have a special place for a while. It got blown off.
I walked into that one.
I think we probably, the last time we did a grapple, I probably made it up on the fly, and I never wrote down what I did.
There's combat unarmed.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it is. So you can make a combat unarmed, strength, or dex. Actually, for you, it has to be strength, because you're trying to pull him out. For him, it'll be dex to try to get out of it.
God damn it.
His dex is +1. Oh, man.
Really?
So, yeah. He's got you by the arm. You kind of clasp your other arm on his and pull, and he just like wriggles out and holds his gun up at you. So his other arm's showing now. He gets to go next turn. So, what's your AC?
5. I don't want to look.
Let's see. He has this weird mag rifle thing. His combat projectile 2. Oh man, I think you're
I've
dead.
got a
buddy.
question.
So fucked.
Is it possible I can interrupt if I see him going?
Oh my god! So he pulls the trigger, and it goes click, and it's in your face, and it's just like click, and he goes, shit! He's shut. It misfired again, and he's like, Matilda, you bitch! And he like holds his gun and he's like fiddling with it. You see your character's short life flash before its eyes.
I feel like I would piss myself.
The answer to your question, I believe.
Sounds like a no at this point.
I think because that was so dramatic, it's a no. Because I didn't realize what you were asking before I made the roll. But if you want to shoot him, you can shoot him now. It could happen before, but I think it's cooler if it's a little more dramatic.
I think in this case, since I did want to shoot, I think I should roll something.
If you actually, so here's what we can do. We can roll initiative again, and if you get a better initiative than him, then you'll shoot first before this happened. This is probably, maybe this is what Al saw coming, and then he hears this bang and he's hearing clicks. He doesn't know what's going on. He's just got his eyes closed. He's freaking out, and hears a click, And he goes, "What?" And then you hear a bang, and maybe his arm gets blown off. Maybe it doesn't. Who knows?
Yeah, I definitely would have taken the shot if I had the chance. So,
Yeah, you definitely had the chance.
okay. So I will.
Okay, go ahead and
I'm going to
roll.
shoot
He's got a
for the
AC
thing.
3.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot for the thing I can see.
Yep, he hasn't moved, so you can get your +2 on that as well.
And this is against what? Oh, is it the attack
it's-
button?
It's your attack roll, but you need to add, I don't think it calculates your combat skill, so you need to add the -1 for your combat projectile.
Okay, so AC of 3.
And then you're gonna have other bonus of 2 minus 1 because I don't think it calculates for that. I'll double check.
So that's just 1.
Yes.
I think I did that right.
Oh man.
Ooh.
Yeah, you did. So he needs to make a physical effect save. His physical effect score is a 12. Roll d20. He needs to roll above. You blow off his arm. It's gone. The Matilda clasps down on the ground. And you see the blue of the hilt as his lifeless arm unwraps it. He basically got blown off at like the elbow. And like his arm and his gun goes flying, and the blue like shuts off, and it's just dead. And Harold just screams bloody murder. I'm gonna say you only blew off his arm, although you did do quite a bit of damage. You didn't kill him.
That's fair.
You see, Al. You see his other arm go for behind him. He took your gun, by the way, if you were carrying one. Just so you know, you're unarmed in this scenario because you rolled 2 1s on your luck saves.
Oh, I was gonna say I left my gun in the car anyway because I wouldn't have went into the bar with one.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So he's reaching behind him, and that's what he's doing with his turn because he's had his arm blown off, and he's trying to rearm himself. Judy, it is your turn.
I assume I notice him reaching behind him, trying to pull something out.
Yes.
I
You can see the iron in his belt behind him.
I want to take a shot with my SMG then.
Okay. If you take a shot, are you doing burst fire or single shot?
Probably burst because I'm assuming that's going to give me a better
Okay.
chance to hit.
So you're gonna need to roll.
Yeah, burst gain +2 to hit and damage. But
Yes.
we'll use
Well,
3.
so here's the problem. He's right in line with Al. They're sort of right next to each other. So if you shoot burst, you're shooting into melee, essentially. Now shooting burst is totally reasonable, but you might also hit Al, and then
Do it.
So I'm gonna have you roll the d20 and all the bonuses except AC, and then I'll figure out who you hit based on their AC. So Harold has an AC 3 to you. I think actually
Because,
you probably have a couple points of cover from Harold and the building for Al.
yeah, I kind of
So,
figured as much. Cause,
I'll say that you
Like
both
he's-
have AC 3.
okay.
That's 2 points of AC for Al, and it also makes the math convenient. So you have AC 3. If you miss, I'm going to need Al to roll a luck check.
Okay, and
Because those worked out so well.
Yes.
so
Do it.
firing bursts. Here we go.
All right, Al, roll luck check. Roll your damage, Judith.
I am so sorry.
Nope, it's good. It's good.
Damage is...
Getting tired of that character yet?
No, not even a little bit, but it's good. It's all good.
I don't know where the damage thing is on that. So.
3 points. How much health do you have, Al?
Not a lot. 4.
All right, you're down to 1. All right, yeah. So you wing Al in the shoulder, and you scare Harold. Like it's definitely concerning to him, but he does pull out his piece and turns around to look at you, and he's looking at the shooter, obviously. Yes, that's your turn, Tassus. You don't actually have a held action, but you can make another action. I think what you probably see is you just see Al. And you see like little bits of Harold, but nothing that you could really shoot.
I have to reload anyways. Sniper rifle
Yeah,
is a one-shot deal.
Yeah, so you need to reload and aim.
Is it reload 1 turn?
I don't actually know. Is it really one shot? Well, you should just chambering a new round, right? Like that's not. I would be like if it's gonna make you.
It says magazine of 1.
Let's
That
see.
implies to me a reload. Because if you're chambering a new round, that would mean there'd be a second thing in the magazine.
Yeah, but even chambering a new round, even if you weren't going to use a magazine to feed it, it wouldn't.
Yeah,
be
so
hard
it's
to
like
cock
maybe
it
it's
back,
I guess
load.
it's like yeah
Half
like
round, maybe?
you a Lee Enfield thing with one round in it. So you pull it back, put in the new round, and drop it down. That's maybe half an action, if that. So yeah, I'm gonna say you could reloading is free. Like we haven't really been tracking reloading anyway, so you can aim this round, and that includes your reload.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. All right, Al. You just saw some bullets spray down the alley. Harold's here. His arm just got blown off. What do you want to do?
You wanna run?
I would feel like that's what my character would do. I would try to run.
I believe that too, actually. Even though that's total fucking metagaming. And
Well, considering I just got shot from something I probably couldn't see, I just watched a guy get his arm blown off.
Definitely
I feel like
covered
I
in
would
blood.
Yeah,
piss myself and run.
your character is a complete wimp, so I
Yeah.
believe that, despite its metagaminess.
Because realistically, the best course of action would be to, since he's not even looking at me, to grab him and yank him back in the eye. But I feel like I
yeah,
wouldn't
but
do
you're
that.
not a warrior.
Actually, I would probably run through this door. Is where I would go.
Yeah, so you're clearing the alley. That makes sense, right? Like you know enough to like get out of the way. Yeah, you run inside and what you see is the bartender sort of hiding behind the bar and like looking at you very pointedly and like, you fucking asshole. I did not. I was 3 days away from retirement. Yeah, so I do have my D20. That's where it goes. Okay. Yeah, that's your turn. You're like in the bar. You can be anywhere in the bar you like. It's
I want to go hug the bartender, or try to anyway.
Covered in blood. tears.
I think you're bleeding out of the shoulder and you're running towards the bar. I don't think you
Yeah.
actually make it all the way behind the bar or anything. The guy is looking at you. He's scared out of his mind. He doesn't want you behind the bar. And I'll remind you that a lot of bartenders have shotguns. So
I want a hug. Like I need a hug.
okay.
Like I want my
Roll a hug
mom.
skill.
All right, so Al's turn is done. Harold pulls out just a semi-auto pistol, just like a normal 1911 type thing, and he's going to take a shot at Judith. Judith, you have 2 points of cover as well.
So that would mean by 2 points of cover.
You get a bonus to your AC of 2, so take 2 off of your AC.
Right. So that would mean I have an AC of 3.
Okay, D20 plus 3 plus 2 his dex. Well, I'm going to say his dex is somewhat hindered by the fact that he doesn't have an arm anymore. And he just shoots wildly and doesn't manage to hit any. He's shooting offhand, so he doesn't hit anything. It's your turn, Judith.
I'm going to take another burst fire shot.
All right, he has AC 3 to you.
3. That would be 0. And I get 1 due to the burst fire. Technically it's 2, but I'm subtracting 1 from my skill.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you pepper him with some rounds, and he. Oops. There we go. You pepper him with some rounds, and everything sort of slows down for a minute, and we watch one of the rounds leave the gun, and you hear the and the gas expanding behind it, and you watch the rifling as it spins, and the last one hits him square center mass, and he sort of dramatically falls back into the alley on the ground, and he's just laying there sprawled out, gun sort of up maybe 1.5 feet away from him, on the ground, passed out. So he's up here now, and he's definitely not moving. Tacitus, it's your turn. What do you want to do?
Is he dead or is he just unconscious?
All you know is he's on the ground, not moving.
All right, I'm going to take the shot then.
All right.
If it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing.
What?
His AC right now is probably a 5.
Okay. Let's see.
Does that include the extra bonus from before?
No, because he has no cover. His AC is normally a 3, but he's sort of sprawled out, not aiming. He's not trying to be in cover. He's not moving or anything. He's not becoming a harder target. So,
I meant
Yeah.
from when I helped him earlier. Not that would have mattered.
Yeah.
yeah. So you shoot and it ricochets off in front of him. He gets sprayed with some shrapnel from the ground, but nothing that hurts him. He doesn't move or respond to it at all. And Al, it's your turn. What do you want to do?
I want to hide.
Okay, yeah. So you're up at the bar. Are you
Curl
trying
up
to
in a
hide?
fetal position.
Okay, yeah. So you just hear another shot from the sniper rifle.
It's silenced.
It's still loud enough to hear.
Yeah,
like
fair.
it's not. It's a 50 caliber gun, man. You can't totally silence that. Anyway, yeah. So you hear another shot from Tacitus's gun, and you hide in the corner. Maybe you grab some bottle of something, try to disinfect your wound. Take a swig, pour some on, wince. Harold doesn't move at all. He's just laying on the ground, bleeding.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
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 Okay. My little red mute light's on, so I couldn't tell.
All right, Judith, you're up. What do you want to do?
I see him not moving, so I slowly and kind of tactically advance as far as I can down the alley while still aiming at him.
Yeah, you can get right up to him. Yeah, you come up to him. He's not moving. You don't notice him breathing, but he's got some clothes on, and he's just sort of lying there bleeding.
I want to kick away any guns or anything near him that he might try and grab.
Okay. Tacitus, you're reloading, so you actually aren't aimed anymore. Yeah, so you sort of step on the other side of him. Tacitus, you see. Well, maybe you don't, because you're in the midst of like reloading and stuff in this 3-second span. But maybe you see like some movement at the end of the alley, and you go up and kick away the gun, and that's probably your turn. Tacitus, what are you gonna do?
Aim.
Okay, you are aimed, sir. Through your scope, you see Judith kick away the gun and look at Harold. Al, what are you doing?
You might be muted now.
He's probably sitting in the corner catatonic.
Well, he did just get shot, unfortunately, by me.
Well, hey, you're trying to shoot the other guy, so. You there, Butch?
Sorry, I really had to pee.
Fair enough.
I was hoping to get back before it was my turn. Have I heard any shots ring out since my last turn?
No. Turns are about 6 seconds all the way around, so it's been about 5 or 6 seconds since you have heard a shot.
Still don't have a phone. I think I would still continue to cry to the bartender.
Okay. The bartender's like looking at you and just shaking his head. He takes a swig of something and just sits and waits. He's got a shotgun in his lap, but he didn't shoot you because he doesn't hate you. Harold continues not to move. Judy, what do you want to do?
I want to check for a pulse.
All right, roll. You don't have to roll. He's dead. He's quite dead. So the reason that I didn't just tell you he was dead is I read a story the other day. This is a little out of character moment. I read a story about a crew of people. They were playing D&D, and they were up against like this sort of bigger monster. It was like they were all kind of new to D&D. They didn't really know what they were doing, and they came up against their first sort of big monster. I think it was like an owl bear or something. And the GM, in his infinite brilliance, had them fight with this thing, and they got a couple of real. He wanted them to run, but they didn't because characters never run. In fact, in general, the hardest thing to get a player to do is run away. They want to like hit things with their swords or shoot things with their guns. They don't ever run away, despite trying. And the day that I get you people to run away will be the day I quit being a GM because I have succeeded at that point. I have one GM. But so anyway, they fight with this owlbear and they get a bunch of crits like on the first round. They actually kill it on the first round, just through sheer luck. Like they had 2 natural 20s and then one guy rolled really well on damage, and they blew through his HP really fast. And the GM didn't tell them that they had killed it. He just described what happened. He was on the ground. He wasn't moving. Nothing is happening. He just sits there. And so the players, they didn't think to ask whether it was dead because they didn't realize that was a thing that they might have to do. And so they just kept hitting it. They just sat there with their pikes and their swords and their great maces and beat the shit out of this thing. The wizard was casting all of his spells. They're in a dungeon, right? And this is like 3-5, so like you're preparing spells. You have a limited pool of spells per day, and they're sitting there. He's like magic missile, magic missile, magic missile, blows through all of his spells. The GM like let this go for he's like I let it go for like 6 rounds of each person just beating the shit. And he's like I kept track. Like he was negative 300 health by the time we were done. And finally, the ranger was like, dude, is he dead yet? How much health does this guy have? And he's like, he was dead 6 turns ago. You guys are just beating a dead owlbear, man. And it was great. So I was hoping that maybe that would happen, and it did a little bit. But Tim, I just want to say you were more clever than those 6 people in that instance. You did a very good job.
That's awesome.
It was wonderful. And so from that point on, I decided I'm never going to tell you another character's dead unless they're very obviously dead. Anyway,
this guy with no head is still moving. What's
going on? That's the headless chicken thing, man. Yeah, so he's quite dead on the ground, being dead.
My suit ruined.
It's almost it's
That's sad.
full of holes. It's actually roll a luck check.
God damn it.
I mean, his arm was literally blown off.
God.
Yeah, your phone was exploded too. You don't have a phone anymore. Your tie is ruined. It's totally gone, man.
Your mom gave you that tie.
Actually, the rich daddy's girl bought me that tie.
Yeah.
Now I'm stuck in my hobo suit again. God
Yeah,
damn.
well, no, I mean, you still have your Oxford, and you still have that leather duster that you got off the guy, so you still look pretty good.
Can I take it to a laundromat at least and get it cleaned?
Yeah, you probably take off the hat as soon as you got in the bar, because it was making your head itch. Like I said, you have lice now.
Space lice.
Damn it.
Space
You
lice.
have failed every single luck save. I can't not give you lice. Things you only ever say in a D&D game. Anyway.
Can I shave my head as a player to get rid of lice?
That actually doesn't get rid of lice, but yes, you can shave your head if you want.
If we won't get rid of lice, what's the point?
Well, I mean, it won't hurt, right? Like it won't get rid of them, but it gives them nowhere to like lay eggs, so eventually they'll die. You can buy there's treatments for lice, like even now. You can find a treatment on this world that'd be equivalent to what we have now, where you go to like a hair salon at some space.
I figured that.
Some shit.
I'm gonna shave my head. I'm gonna make a note that my character is now bald because I have lice.
Okay, whenever you get back to the ship, you can shave your head. The leather duster is pretty nice though. It's actually pretty well kept. It's just a leather jacket, or whatever. Okay, so he's dead. The bartender's pissed. Al, you haven't heard a shot in a while. Tacitus, you see Judith check for a pulse. Judith, do you do anything when you notice there's no pulse?
When I noticed that, I kind of get up and I just kind of motion towards the house, saying, "Yeah, he's dead," kind of deal.
Yeah, just hand across the neck kind of thing. Just
Yeah.
Don't
something
we
like
have
that.
radios?
well, I mean, you didn't tell me you were calling each other. You don't really have radios. You have phones.
Okay, that's fair.
Maybe you have a Nextel thing, whip, and then you can talk to him. But I imagine he knows that, or she knows that you're looking, so he probably just makes she probably just makes the
The motion.
He's dead. He's
Is
dead.
combat
motion.
time over?
Combat time is over.
Okay. I'm gonna pack up my gun and go to the car.
All right. Yeah. So let's go back to the main screen here. Yeah. So what do you guys? You guys gotta collect yourself, collect Al, collect your bounty,
Collect the
And
gun he had, which was
collect the gun.
sweet.
the gun he had.
Both guns.
Yes,
Both
both.
Oh,
guns.
that's right.
Yeah, but there's a semi-auto pistol, and there's Matilda.
Matilda. I want Matilda. God damn it. Because
I think it's only fair
Yeah,
that
you
you get
did.
Matilda.
You did get shot in the shoulder.
Yeah, so it's probably been about 30 or 40 seconds since you've heard a shot, Al. What do you want to do?
Actually, I want to take Matilda and give it to the bartender to make amends.
Okay, yeah. So you walk out and you retrieve Matilda, and you notice, the gun. It's clearly heavily modified, and the hilt where you saw it glowing blue before is no longer glowing. And you pick it up, and it glows red. But you take it inside to the bartender and put it on the counter, probably, right?
Yeah, I apologize for the troubles. And just hand it down.
And he goes, "You realize that has a biometric lock on it. Nobody can shoot it except for that guy.
Could you sell it?
I mean, I could scrap it." He goes, "Mate," or he goes, I guess he doesn't go, "Mate." He goes, "Buddy." I was thinking like Harold. Why don't you hold on to it, and you can do me a favor. Don't come back with. In fact, just don't come back. Just no more problems for my bar.
But I like your coffee.
Well, I'll give you the recipe. It's 1 part whiskey and 1 part cup.
Fair enough. I walk out.
And he goes, picking up the tattered pieces of his poor bar. So walk out. You probably walk out to meet Tacitus and company. What are you guys doing?
see, can I remove the biometric lock or have that taken somewhere and have the biometric lock removed?
You could try.
Okay.
I mean, we had plenty of that guy's blood, right? What triggers the lock?
You'd have to do a post-tech to find out.
All right, some back at the ship then.
You can study the device and try to reverse engineer it, see what happens.
Let's do that later.
Yeah, I want some fucking band-aids, man. I'm bleeding.
You can always biostasis yourself. Just be like, oh.
Well, he's also
Yes, I
not
don't
at
know.
negative health.
No, he's
I am at 1.
health. You're one
Not
health.
dying. I'm just unhappy.
You got a nasty shoulder wound. Like it's probably like a flesh wound. It's probably not like killing you. You're bleeding like oozy. It's oozing blood.
I'm not having fun.
Yeah, you're not having a good day. Actually, that means your Oxford is probably also ruined. I'm gonna say it probably hit you in the leg because I don't want to ruin the jacket. I don't want to leave you without some kind of clothing. So it hit you in the leg and it like just took a chunk out of your thigh. It hurts, but it's not. You're not dying or anything.
Duct tape fixes everything.
Yeah, basically.
Yep.
So what do you guys? You're now all gathered around Harold's armless corpse. You've collected his weapons, so one of you has a semi-auto pistol and one of you has Matilda, which is a mag. It's a spike thrower, but it does It does 2d8 damage instead of 3d8, and it has 2 shots before it needs to be reloaded. Not that we're really doing reloading, but
All right, guys, let's bounce. I'll get the car, bring it up, or bring it back.
I guess actually
There we
I think I just accidentally invented Sally. Right? Did I just give you Sally again?
You might
locked.
have. I think
Hot
it actually does
dog.
more damage than Sally.
No, because Sally did 2d10, but
Oh, that's-
in context it does like per hit point it does certainly.
But see, this one's Matilda.
Yes,
New
that's
girl for
Matilda.
me.
And I think upon that realization, we zoom out for a minute, and you just see Jack Theratrix, or Jay Quellen. I can't remember. I can't believe I forgot the name. You see Jay just smile and go, "He's got a set." Just like looks over, and then it goes back into the big damn arrows. And Yeah, so you guys are just loading up a body.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so we got like maybe Al's like holding up like he's holding the guns and like the arm because he's kind of hurt, and you two have just got him. One of you got his arms or arm and neck, I guess, or something, and one of you got his feet and just walking in the car.
Well, I was thinking we'd bring the car around. That would make more
Fair enough.
sense.
Yeah, but it's funnier the other way. Anyway, yeah. So
Hey guys, guess what we just won? As we walk across the
so
street.
you probably, I guess, you toss the body in the trunk, and like, yeah, you got a body in your trunk now, and a couple of guns, and there's a loose arm. You could throw at someone. Could lend someone a hand.
But
Thank you. Here's Thursday. Yeah. So you guys just heading back to the ship.
Yeah, I would
Yep.
think we would.
Okay, so it's a reasonable trip. Can someone make a vehicle land check against your wisdom?
how's Judith's vehicle land skills?
I have no vehicle land or grav experience. I have vehicle air for some reason, which doesn't seem right.
Air, I think you mean vehicle space.
No, there's a vehicle space and a vehicle air. I don't know why I have one in vehicle air. though.
It might be because you took pilot.
No, I think there was a free one that I was going to put in like grav or land, but for some reason I put it in air.
You can move it if you want.
Thank you. It's 0 conveniently.
That's better than me. Looks like you're
All right.
driving.
Against your wisdom.
Price has been drinking, so
Price is also pissed off and full of holes.
Yeah, so
one hole.
And I need to change pants.
Yeah, so yeah, you're driving back. You are wise enough to drive carefully so that you don't get pulled over with a body in your trunk. And yeah, you get back to the ship, pull right in, up on the loading bay, and Clippy greets you. It seems like you're trying to park a rental car. Would you like help with that?
No.
Are you sure? I'm really good at parking rental cars. And you see him turn into a little car and drive around on the loading bay screen
Yes.
as you park. And yeah, so you park the car. Clippy doesn't help at all. And yeah, what do you want to do? Just gonna GTFO.
I'm gonna go straight to the med bay and go find band-aids.
Okay, yeah. So you go to
And
the med
morphine.
bay and treat yourself to some morphine, I guess. And what are the other guys doing?
I'm gonna go see. Oh, you go.
No, go ahead. I was going to suggest we go find out where we're supposed to bring this body.
Right. I'm gonna go to my ready room. Oh, you want to place the body somewhere? Yeah. Do we have a morgue?
You have a med bay. Probably has a freezer slab thing. You also have a kitchen.
Yeah. I mean, there are some good stuff in the fridge. I think we just put him in the med bay for now.
Yeah, you mind giving me a hand bringing the corpse?
I can do that.
Thank you.
All right, yeah. So you probably have a grav sled. You can put him on and push around the.
That'll work. Just get me on the
Yeah.
grav sled.
We should totally take rides on the grab sled.
I
With
I
amazing
fully believe
forklift
like
action.
I fully believe like you know how in like sometimes in Star Trek or especially like a Voyager you'd see people just like doing stuff around the halls. I feel like every now and again when one person is having a scene, you see the other people like cruising around on the grab sled, like skateboarding or something. Yeah, so you stow away the unfortunate corpse of one Mr. Harold McLeod, and one of you is going to figure out where you have to turn in the bounty, right?
Yes.
I'll do that.
Okay. So yeah, you're heading up to your ready room to do that. Al is fixing himself. Judith, what are you doing?
I guess I go and start prepping the ship for launch.
Okay. Yeah, so and I assume one of you returns the car. It's a rental. You cleaned it out first. I hope you cleaned it out first.
Yes, we would clean it up and fill it up and make sure that the spare tire.
I feel
Do
like
you
I
have to
feel
fill it
like
up?
I feel like Judith. Not ever. It depends on the rental company. I feel like Judith is probably grumpy about being basically relegated to cleaning. Is that true?
A little bit.
She's probably sitting there like, God damn, stupid. I'm a fucking pilot. I'm trained. Anyway,
At least I'm not making sandwiches.
yeah. Tacitus, the bounty can be returned at any bounty office on any system in the U.S. That is the blue region on that map. There is no bounty station here for the Unified Society.
All right.
Is that
I'm
the
gonna-
blue area?
Yes.
Yes.
Blue is U.S. Red is People's Republic.
I'm gonna call the crew to the ready room.
Yeah, so you all hear like a bleep over the speakers, and it's actually Clippy's voice saying, the captain wants you all in the ready room. Would you like directions? And it pops up with the map of the ship.
I say yes.
And it actually lights up a little light above you. There's a green light, and it follows you around as you know the way there, so you're just following the normal path. But it's lighting up in front of you, and it's actually like going down other paths and like really circuitous. You can kind of tell where it's going, and it's just going all
Kind of high, so I would follow the wrong path. Anyway,
Yeah, so you're
it's
just
fine.
like circuitously walking around the ship. Judith, what do you say to Clippy when he offers?
No, thank you.
He says, "Are you sure? I'm really good at navigating the ship. I'll take you on a really fun trip."
Yes.
And so the same. These ones are pink, because Clippy is apparently sexist. And yeah, they start lighting up. They do the same circuitous path around the ship. Do you follow them? You don't actually know your way around the ship yet, really. You've only been on here for a day or two. So
I would imagine I would know my way from the cockpit to the ready room, though.
yeah, and you were at the cockpit, right? Because you had
Yep.
cleaned out the car and then
I was prepping the ship for launch.
yeah. So yeah, you probably like the lights come on and they go the opposite direction of the ready room, and you just probably look at them like what? And yeah, you're in the ready room for a good 5 minutes before Al shows up, high as a kite. And the doors open, and you see Al there with like bloodshot eyes and going, "Yeah." What do you want to say there, Tacitus?
All right, guys, we need to go back to a system with a bounty office. The nearest one would be Asa or Matacena.
Matachena.
Matachena. I'm gonna recommend Matachena because we haven't been there before, and we definitely don't have rap sheets there.
Solid reasoning. I'm okay with that.
Whatever's
Price?
clever, man. Whatever's clever.
All right.
All right.
Set a course for Matacena. Make it so.
We need someone to roll some navigation checks.
I guess
I'm gonna go follow the pretty lights for a while.
We
and
definitely
this-
have a navigator at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Is your
It-
navigation skill good? Or is it still me?
It has a navigation skill of 1.
It has? Yeah, that's definitely better than what I have.
Alright, I guess
Mine's
I'm
just
doing
0.
It is me. Do I get bonuses for vehicle space as well?
Nope. Just this is like laying out a course on a map.
Okay.
The vehicle space will come in if you need to make a maneuver. Yeah, you're flying through tight corridors or something like that.
Alright.
You need to make 3 total.
I'm okay with that. And I also get a bonus since it's against hint.
Mm-hmm.
What?
All right, it's a pass. Do you want to go to 203 or 204?
Let's do 203.
Okay. Where to next? That's 3 days, by the way. So it's been 1 day. Plus, yeah. Actually, I think you're leaving at like probably noon. So you got 3 days so far. You passed again. 102 or 103.
It doesn't matter.
Let's say 102.
Okay.
And that's 6 days total. You need one more.
And we got it.
Okay, cool. What is the date now after 9 days?
I'm trying to remember. Is there 30 days in November or 31?
30 days hath no. Oh God, now I can't do it. 30 days.
There's 30.
Thank you. That would be December 4th, which the captain, through miraculous amounts, also wired payment for the monthly bill. And when we land, I would also imagine we pay for maintenance.
Okay.
Magically.
Well, we'll see about that. Yeah, so let me. Oh shit, where'd my thing go? Crap! Did I just leave the game? Did I just do that? Is that the thing that happened?
Yes.
Did you open my link?
No, I didn't
No, you just
actually.
left.
I was trying to get my Excel sheet open, and Windows is not cooperating. This is what I want.
We can do whatever we
'cause
want. Change the
Windows is
sheets.
a dirty, dirty whore.
I don't disagree.
2.
Hey Cortana, open Excel. You bitch! I didn't want you to Bing it, you piece of shit. Like, it would make total sense for Cortana to fucking open Excel the program, but no.
Let me ping that.
See, you have your very own Clippy. Would you like help with that?
Don't
I'm really
joke.
good at searching for Excel programs.
You fucking piece of shit computer. Okay. Yeah, so it was November 25th. Now it is December 4th at the moment. Okay. Capped. Herald. So yeah, the second you jump into the system, you get big flashy warning lights all over your screen saying restricted area. And there are probably half a dozen ships that lock onto your ship immediately.
Wait,
Does it-
I missed that. I was reading the Knuckle article thingy.
The what?
The thing Tacitus posted.
Use your knuckles. Oh yeah, that thing. I have heard of that. Because it's every other month except for like one, and it's weird. Yeah. So as soon as you jump into the system, like you materialize in the system, and hails pop up on your screen. There are 6 or 8 ships locking onto you, and red flashing lights are saying the system is restricted.
Is one ship hailing us, or are many ships hailing us?
Many ships are hailing you.
I'm gonna pick the first ship that hailed us to respond.
And the response is, what are you doing here? Who are you? What's going on?
This is Captain Tacitus of the
Jack Rose.
Jack Rose. We're here to return. We're here to collect on a bounty. We were unaware of the situation in the system.
You are in restricted space, sir. We're going to need you to leave immediately.
That may be difficult because we used all our fuel, but we will try to leave as soon as possible.
And he looks at you, and he goes, "We can provide you with enough fuel for a jump, and then you'll have to get your own fuel from there. But you need to get out of the system right now. There's military exercises going on here. We cannot have civilians in this sector."
Understood, sir. We'll await fueling.
Yeah. So some other tug, all the hails drop off after you answer the first one. And some tug comes up and gives you 1 fuel, and also an invoice for 10,000 credits.
What?
The invoice just says it was 500 credits for the fuel and 9,500 for trespassing on a active military site.
What cunts?
Yeah,
Should we just pay that?
and it's just listed. It says it's from the Unified Society governmental bureaucracy. Blah blah
If they didn't
blah.
want to blow us up, I'd say pay an IOUs and tell them to fuck off.
Well,
Can
it's an invoice. You'll have they've filed an invoice somewhere, and someone will come after you for the money. But
Oh, so we haven't paid yet.
no.
Should we just pay now?
Well, it's an invoice, so you can pay it when you get to a system where you can pay it, but you probably don't want to pay it here.
Let's jump and talk this over. I'm
Okay.
thinking we should go to Sadaha.
Shada.
Shada. It's red.
Shada.
Oh, okay. Hang on, plotting course.
Well, if we only have one jump, how are we gonna get there?
You can scoop fuel off of a
Yeah.
star.
Oh, okay.
It takes 3 days for one fuel. This is why I started caring about what day it was.
Okay, jumping.
Yeah, you nailed that shit. Yes, it's another 3 days. You are in triple O 2, I assume. There is a local star here. There's no habitable planets or anything.
Okay.
But you're able to scoop off this star.
I say we scoop for 6 days to get 2 fuel.
I agree with that course of action. But I want to do something over those 6 days.
Okay, yeah, what do you want to do?
Can I use my bureaucracy skill to see if I can find a way to pay less or weasel out of this?
Abso-fucking-lutely! Yes, absolutely! I fucking love it. Go ahead and make a bureaucracy. What are you trying to do? So are you trying to, like, figure out some loophole in the fine print, or are you trying to call somebody and, like...
Can we call
weasel out of
Michael
it?
back?
Which one's
who's
Michael?
That was her slave name.
She's not.
Okay. So if you want to call somebody, you need to be in system with people. But if you
Okay.
just want to like try to find fine print, so that maybe later when you do call somebody, you'll have some ammo. That is a different role. But they're both bureaucracy.
I think I want to look at the fine print, look at the law, see. I mean, we never got any message that it was restricted until we were in system.
Yeah, go ahead and make a bureaucracy roll against your intelligence. You're looking through like ships, encyclopedias, and
I'm sure we have law
books, so,
files.
yeah. you have Space Wikipedia on your drive on your ship, so that you always have it available. It syncs whenever you're in town.
Wait.
Yeah, you.
I'm going to re-roll that.
Yeah,
I'm going to use my expert skill and re-roll bureaucracy. And I'm going to take a note of what the time is.
it actually refreshes in about 5 minutes. So
Is that against intelligence?
yes. All right. So you look over the documents. There's not. I mean, it's just an invoice. There's not a lot of fine print there. You look through all of your charts and logs, and you do see that there is a notice about Matachena that said that military exercises would be happening there. But it just stated it like a fact. Like, this is a place where the military does exercises on a fairly regular basis. There's no standing law that says you can't go to places where military exercises are. But it's sort of like, it's a well-known precedent that like people who go there tend to get in trouble. But you might be able to weasel out of it based on the fact that there's no explicit law that says don't do this. Yeah.
Okay.
So-
file that information away.
Okay. And so the way that bonus will manifest, because I don't want to tell you what you get, it's just going to change the DC of your later actions on the ticket. Okay, so you're going to scoop for 6 days. That puts it at the 13th, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So now you need to navigate to Shada. That goes uneventfully. You scoop off of a star. You've done it a million times. Actually, vehicle pilot space thing. Do
Yes.
2 of those.
2 of these.
That's how we'll know whether it goes okay.
And
Against your dex.
Dex.
As you are being dexterous as you guide the spacecraft in the corona of a star. Yeah, so the first day goes without event. You just like outer corona. And the second day you actually dive a little bit deep. You end up getting 2 units of fuel because you dove a little deeper. You got a little handy. So, yeah, so it's now the 13th. You're heading off towards Shada.
And I am plotting a course.
Oh, you nailed that. That was good.
Damn, son.
You got
I
one more.
told you I'm a freaking pilot.
Yeah, nice.
Jesus.
All right, so you arrive
Bow
on
down
Shada
before
with,
my might.
with the fuel to spare, and I feel like Judith has just got like a shit-eating grin on her face. I don't know if she would. You can tell me if she doesn't, but that's what I
Oh,
feel.
she totally does.
Yeah. She's got a shit-eating grin on her face. She sets the with some degree of flourish. She sets the ship down on the pad, and looks around and just like looks at her nails and just, all right, hot shit. Yeah, so you arrive. One of you needs to contact the bounty office and collect your bounty. And one of you, well, I know that Tacitus wants to try to weasel his way out of the bill. So,
I also, I want to take care of the maintenance and filling
okay.
up on life support because we're just over
Yes,
half.
because it's now the 19th. So
Um,
it's 6 days to Christmas, guys.
Space Christmas.
Do they spell? Yeah. Do they celebrate Christmas? Is Jesus still alive?
Well, I mean, Islam is still alive, and the people in the South are Catholics. So I imagine Space Christmas gets celebrated. It might actually be Space Festivus, because most of the U.S. is atheist in this world. So
I think I will try to go get our bill waived. I think since Judith got the bad role at cleaning out the car, she should be the one to get the glory of the bounty.
Also, Al, you're probably at full health by now. You've been under your own care for a while.
I'm currently just calculating all the math for filling up on everything minus fuel, although we should probably do that too.
What was your
Life support?
food supplies, life support? Yeah, what'd that get down to?
It was at 183 when we landed. I'm
Okay.
just filling back up to 360. I
Okay.
figured that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, so you actually burned through half of that. That's pretty good. I feel like that needs to go up a little bit. So the issue is like space travel is kind of hard to balance because he wants to have like 2 or 3 different numbers that are moving around. And by he, I mean Kevin Crawford, the guy who wrote the game. He wants to have like 2 or 3 numbers you got to kind of like balance around. But they all kind of go down at the same rate, and so it doesn't really. It just is like a money sink. I feel like there's probably a better way to do that, but I haven't figured one out yet. So
Okay.
anyway,
Almost done filling all this stuff out. Alright. We just spent like something like 12,000 credits on maintenance, monthly expenses, life support, and fuel. But we're all
All right.
up.
what's your ship bank at?
66.4 thousand.
Okay.
That is
Um,
before we've collected the bounty, mind you.
Okay. So yeah, you get all that done. There's some people doing maintenance on the ship. You take out the slabbed body of Harold, who's quite dead. During the almost month you spent traveling around that part of space, what do you guys do in the meantime?
I would have sent Peanuts a reply back to one of his messages saying, "We killed that motherfucker," and just like in the most disrespectful, like, "We got this shit way
Dude, dead bodies.
possible."
I think you get a reply back from Peanuts. Oh, you got him? Nice. Well, then I guess I'll have you do this thing. I was going to give it to the other guy, that ex special ops guy, but I guess I'll give it to you. Meet me in Canseco, Ballesteros, soon. That email came like a day ago.
Okay. I would have passed that along to the captain.
I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that triggered your belief, because it got you in some trouble. And that belief is going to get you 100 XP.
Sweet.
I got to figure out what Peanuts is going to do. Don't
Oh,
go there now.
Did I get the other one that I met the contact? Because I got the bartender's name this time.
So
nice.
you met the contact. He was useful to you, in as much as he managed to inform you that Harold was there. Not that you noticed right away. And yeah, I'm gonna say yeah. And I think last week I said without the name it was 250. With the name, 350.
Jake
So-
with his khakis.
Yeah. So, and then your belief is level 2, so that's 100 XP. So it's a total of 450 that you got there. You did not use your psychic power. Okay.
Did not.
So that put you at for? You're getting pretty close to a level there, buddy. And you haven't taken the I complete this mission goal, which the other 2 guys are about to complete. So
No, I wouldn't get any XP from my belief, I would imagine, because that didn't.
I'm more
actually play
banking
from
on the fact
trouble.
that I just want to do something in the mission to get XP. I don't expect us to actually finish.
well, I mean, you've completed 2 now. You're on a roll, man. Getting the hang of this shit.
Yeah. I mean, I'm only going to get my one goal. My belief wouldn't give me XP, I would imagine. Since it didn't get us into trouble. Though I'm pretty good at sniffing at bullshit.
It didn't, but that gave you a different benefit. So that's exactly how beliefs are supposed to work. Is it might not give you XP, but it'll give you a different benefit
Right.
instead.
That's what I figured. Alright, do we want to calculate the bounty payout?
Okay.
Here's what I'm thinking. Maybe we should collect the money and then talk about it.
Okay, yeah. Well, so you go down to the bounty office with him on you get a grav vehicle or something and drive it out there. He's in the back, a grav hearse or something. Take it to the bounty office. You have the paperwork. You look at the lady and I'm here to collect the bounty on this guy. Show her the body. She goes, okay, and she gets a couple orderlies, takes it away. It's all very routine. And she basically writes you a check for 75,000 credits. She writes it to the ship, which is typical. So you show your pilot's license in the ship that you're working on. You have some paperwork, and she writes the check to the ship and expects that you will divvy it up appropriately. You have completed that mission. Those of you with goals may take the following amount of XP. If you are chewing, please mute your mic because it.
Sorry.
I'll stab you in the ear with the pencil.
Good luck with that. You have about 500 miles to do that with.
You can
Yeah,
do it,
well,
It's a long pencil, dude.
Judith.
Don't test me, woman. All right. So those of you with complete this contract as a job, I did rate them both the same because I'm not stupid. I'm gonna say it's 500 XP.
Sweet.
That was a pretty tough mission. He had a spike thrower mag thingy. Yeah. So let's see.
I have leveled up.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
What do I got to do to try to research to remove the biometric lock on the?
You probably need to contact okay. There are a couple ways you can approach it. You can find a contact at a university and be like, "Hey, what do you know about a gunsmith or something, or a metallurgy person, someone who knows about tech, to take a look at it and tell you whether it can be removed." You can try to figure it out yourself if you have some tech ability. You can, yeah. So, how would you do that for real? That's what
Can I throw an? Well, okay. OOC, would it be illegal to just throw an ad out on Space Craigslist
No.
or whatever?
This is it's sort of Wild West. So someone is, oh yeah, I know how to do that. You get a couple replies immediately from various gun stores and that kind of thing. A couple of gunsmiths pop up and say, yeah, I can take a look at it for you.
I'll contact the first one and see how much it costs to do.
Yes. So if you leveled up, you need to do your HP business and take your skill points, etc. You don't have to spend your skill points until you need them. So if you just want to have some unspent skill points lying around, it's not a bad idea.
How many skill points do you get per level?
There's a page for it. We had to go looking for it before.
yeah, I remember this now.
Might have it on my GM screen. Hold on.
You level 3, Tacitus?
I am.
I
I am also
shit.
the
That's what happens
longest
when you don't
tenured
die.
employee of this
That's what happens
ship.
when you don't die. Skill points per level. Expert gets 3, Psychic gets 2, Warrior gets 2.
Okay.
Also, question for the other goal I had, because you were going to ask what I meant by it. It was more or less that I didn't die. Kind of.
Well, so then you had 2 of the same goal, right? Because completing your job and not dying on that job, same thing, right? You can't complete it if you're dead.
Fair enough.
So you can have a different goal.
I will put in a different goal at some point because I can't think of one right now.
Okay. Yeah. So you also get another goal slot, Tacitus.
Sweet.
And the other guys are somewhat further away from leveling. You can find a way to funnel you guys some more XP. That is one slight downside to the system. I like it because it gives you a lot of control over how your character develops, but I can't just give you XP with this thing. I have to set it up, which is nice because it gives me ideas for what to do. But
More effort.
Oh, could
Well,
I like
it's-
right now put a goal in for myself to make it to the next system without dying?
Yeah.
Like realistically, I'm
Like
gonna make that my goal
making it to the next system or to another system.
to another system.
Um,
Well, the next.
so I
goal
mean
system
another
I'm
specific
going to.
system, or yeah. So you just want to get to like Kanseko without dying.
Yeah, that would be my next
Um,
goal.
okay, then yeah, that's like a one. It's not hard. Most of the time, especially now that you have a pilot with a +1 in navigation, failing is really hard in that scenario because you have to roll snake eyes, a 3, or a 4, I think, because you have a +1 in int, right?
True, but it's an easy way. I'm gonna get XP.
Yeah,
without
you're
really-
gonna be getting 50 to 100 XP all the time.
Yeah.
Like if your goal is make a jump without dying, it's gonna give you 10 XP, but you're gonna get it every single fucking time.
All right. I also got another goal I would assume is different enough to qualify.
That is more of a belief than a goal.
Fair enough.
And that is definitely a good belief. It's that good of a belief that gives you some assistance and
That it does. Enough to the point where I'm going to keep it as a belief.
yeah.
Because I would imagine, with one or two more missions/jobs, because I'm just going to keep that one around.
Yeah, it's a good belief.
Or I meant for the other goal, my one goal now.
Yeah.
That will eventually get me enough so I can get a different goal as well.
Yep.
Go.
I added 2 goals.
It's just a little harder. Cool. Well, so your last goal, isn't that Al's thing?
Oh right, it is Al's gun. All right, yeah. Let me think.
I mean,
on
it could
that.
be see if I can help him.
All right.
I suppose unlocking my gun would have been a good goal.
Yeah, I mean, you can put that as one of your goals.
Yeah, I'll put help. See if I can help unlock this gun. And what was this gun's name?
Matilda.
See if I can help unlock Matilda. Okay.
So bounty divvy up fun thing.
Let's go to the ready room.
All right, you guys divvy up the bounty. I'm gonna go get some water. I'll be
Oh
right
yeah,
back.
how much are we giving to the ship, and how much are we each taking?
I think if we do a 25 to the ship and then 50 divided by 3.
All right.
75 divided by 3.
So,
25 to the ship, 75 divided by 3. So that's 25 apiece.
No, you got 75,000 because you killed him. There's 100 dead.
Oh, you're saying
100
25
alive.
credits. I thought you were talking percentages. Never mind. I'm retarded.
So 25% of the full thing going to.
And then 50 divided by the 3 of us.
I mean, if you did 25%, then it'd be just 25% to everybody, right? You just count
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking.
What's 25% to everybody, including the
So,
ship?
25% of 75,000 is like 18
1870
and change.
Yeah, 18750.
Let's just do that. I think it's easier.
All right,
That's my judgment as captain crew. What do you think?
I'm okay with
The
that.
captain.
Look at me. Look at me.
Is-
I'm the captain now.
Is that enough to the ship, though, is my only concern. To take care of gas. and
I
all
mean, I'm no mathematician, but you spent 12 grand. You just put 25 in, so that was also a bigger fill up than usual, right? Because
Yeah, that was a much bigger fill up.
your life support, and you did your maintenance, and
Paid our
lots of-
monthly bill and
Yeah.
filled up on fuel. We
think
did all the things.
So to come in here as Larry Feingold, your accountant, who does your taxes for you. There are no taxes in this world. I'm not gonna make you do taxes.
Thank you.
Although now, because if you're mean to me, I might make you do taxes. That's all I'm saying.
No.
You need to fill out Form 23T-4-1A. Easy. Anyway, no. As as Larry Feingold, your ship's accountant, keeping about 75 to 100 grand in the bank is not a bad idea. It's actually maybe a little bit aggressive. Like you could probably keep 50 and be okay.
Well, we have
You're-
just over 85,000 now.
I mean, a good rule of thumb is keep about 3 months worth of.
Are we in a tech level 4 world right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there are only a couple tech level 3s, and I think one tech level 2 in the entirety of the sector. So
I'm gonna pull Price off to the side. Hey,
Okay.
Price. Do you remember
Yes.
when I lent you $1,000 so you could buy a sweet SMG with a silencer?
Sure.
Do you have money to pay me back now?
I do have money to pay you back now.
Okay. Can you pay me back?
Did you lend me $1,000 to buy?
I've got
I
a
know
note.
you lent Mal 1,000.
You lent
credits.
Mal
I've got a note owed 1K from Malcolm and Price.
because no, he is right because we got SMGs. He lent me $1,000 to buy the silencers for it.
Yes.
That's right. I will give him 1,000 of my credits.
Okay.
I forgot about that.
Consider the debt paid.
That was paid, sir.
Collect.
Give him a half-ass salute, like retard salute, because I'm retarded.
Okay. Yeah, so there are about half a dozen tech level 3 worlds. You were just on one that's Afra. That's 20th century technology. There are 2 tech level 2 that's like medieval technology. And there's 2 tech level 1 planets, which are like Stone Age technology.
I'm assuming we can't sell our ship back, right? Like for half price.
I mean, you can sell your ship if you want. You'd just be stuck on a planet. You'd have
No,
to
no, not ship. Shit. Like my
Shit?
woven body armor
Yeah, you can sell that.
for like half price.
You make a business roll. Get your charisma.
My Christmas sucks. It's gonna go fantastic.
Yeah, you find a guy who's willing to give you 10 cents on the dollar for it. So
10 cents on the dollar for what it initially costs?
Yeah.
I'll take that.
yeah, so whatever that is, it's 10% of the cost is what you get for it.
I have 40 credits for it. It's not bad.
Better than nothing. Why are you selling your woven body armor? Do you buy something else?
Yeah, I'm gonna buy an assault suit.
Do you
Okay.
have exosuit skill?
Combat field uniform, the one that doesn't require exosuit.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to
Assault
find
suit
that.
requires-
So, yeah, assault suit and power armor both require the exosuit skill.
Okay.
And they're also a little bit tough to find, even on TL4 worlds. Just because they're, I mean, they're like power armor, right? Like, so an assault suit is sort of like a Sister of Battle level, for those of you familiar with 40K, or they're like mech suits, right? So like Marine from StarCraft, like they got like a suit on that makes them more powerful. And a power armor is, power armor, so you're talking Space Marine. And so it's a little bit tougher to come by, but you can find them. They're just not always the advertised price. Like, you're going to have to find them at surplus stores or something, and you might be able to find an okay one for the price advertised, but a lot of them will be more expensive. Basically, anything that's more than a couple thousand credits, we're going to have to, like, haggle over. But the cheap stuff I don't care about.
I'm assuming I need to buy a new phone too.
Yes. There's a price for that. You can just pick up a, standard phone. They're all kind of the same.
I've got some buy things to do when you're all set.
Okay. So he's off buying a phone and a combat field uniform. You're able to find one at a surplus store for the usual price. What do you need to do, Tacitus?
I want to do the same thing. I want to sell my woven body armor and buy...
Business check against your charisma.
Okay.
Also, I would like to check on getting my Matilda unlocked.
Okay. Do another business check against your charisma. We'll see how good the guy is that you find. Yeah, so you find someone he's maybe give you a little more. He'll give you like 50 credits for it, Tacitus.
I'll take that deal.
All right, yeah, 50 credits. Butch, or Al rather, the guy that you find is fat, southern, not very good at his job, and probably molests children. What do you want to do?
I don't care as long as he can unlock the gun.
Yeah, so he looks at you and he goes, "Well, welcome to Blue Jacket Firearms. Uh, I'm Bill. Can I see the weapon?" And he's
Absolutely.
drooling out of the side of his mouth, and he goes, "That's a mighty fine piece, son. Why you call it Matt, Matilda, Matilda? Why you name it Matilda?"
Because that was the name of my ex-wife, and she was a brutal cunt.
Well, it looks here like you got a gun with 2 barrels on it, sir. Why you got
That's
two
a very,
barrels?
that's a very astute observation, sir. Because what if I gotta shoot 2 people?
Well, shit, son, I never would have thought of that. That's smart. Well, it looks like it's got 2 barrels and only one trigger. How's that work?
You gotta aim real good.
I'll give you $50 for it.
Well, I don't want to sell it. I want you to unlock it. It's got a bio lock on it.
A buy a what?
Do you see this shiny object over here? And I kind of motion with my right hand while grabbing the gun with my left hand.
He goes, "What shiny out? What? Huh?"
I just fucking walk out with my gun.
And he's like looking off in the corner. You hear ring, and then the camera just diagonal wipes back to Tacitus. What was your next thing you wanted to do, Tacitus?
I just wanted to buy the combat field uniform.
Okay, yeah, you'd be able to find it for the usual price. You actually probably run into Al while you're looking at it.
Checking out sizes, looking at straps.
Yeah.
I also
I
have
just
a
bet
level
you
up question.
don't use big words.
You're at it's a different store. Like you went to a military surplus store. It's like Walmart, but for military surplus. And then you went to this like private gunsmith that is not very good at his job and probably molests children.
So when you leveled up, how do you use your strength, dex, constitution change?
It does not.
Okay, so it's like that for the whole game?
Yep.
Okay.
That's you, buddy.
All right. I also want to buy a pair of binoculars.
Okay.
Then we'll certainly have
Yeah, you
fun.
find some binoculars on the shelf and grab them.
As soon as I find where they are in the sheet.
I think there were actually 2 kinds.
The not electronic one.
Yeah, you just want the regular ones.
Binoculars.
Exploration gear, I
20
think, is
bucks.
where it is.
Yep.
Yeah. You should, while you're here, as a suggestion, go ahead and take a look at ship upgrades and other like non-weapon items that can be useful. I mean, grapnel launchers are pretty handy things, and they're cheap. So, backpacks are great. You can fit a bunch of stuff in there. Yeah, like there's all sorts of stuff. Solar rechargers, not a bad thing to have around if you find yourself on a tech level 1 world.
Yeah, I'll put together a little list.
And you might be able to get a deal on it too. You can roll business and try to get a better deal. Yeah, so there's exploration gear and tools and medicine. Lazarus patches are handy for the non-biopsionic people among you.
Should
Personal
try to buy some of those.
accessories.
Patch anyway.
A compad is a phone. That's what you need.
Yeah, I
Butch?
took 100 credits off for that.
Okay. There's also some like minor starship upgrades you can get, comm units and that kind of thing that give you like actual comms, like Star Trek, hit your chest and talk, or in ear things. I think those might be under fittings. I do not remember. They're around. Go poking.
If I take 200 credits off, can I have like a nice suit?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. Get rid of the leather duster. Dress classy.
All right. It's a cool leather duster, man. All right. Want to be a spacesuit? That's your business.
Can't dress like the poor folk.
The
Or
leather
hobo.
dusters probably goes for like 50 credits. It's
I'll keep it in my
not.
closet in case I need to dress like a hobo.
It's a pretty classy fucking coat, man. That's anyway. Anyway, does anybody else want to buy stuff?
I'm still working on my list.
Judith,
I'm
you looking to buy
good.
stuff?
I'm looking around for everything. I'm good right now, though.
Are there
I'm
any
wearing a-
ship upgrades we want to get?
I'm kind of thinking, at the very least, maybe a Drive 2 upgrade. Maybe even a Drive 3.
The only
Can we
thing I
like
would worry
upgrade our
about there is
fuel
power. Yeah, so you can get
so we can go more than three space?
fuel
spaces?
scoops. I'm sorry, fuel bunkers are 2.5k. You are in a frigate, so it's 5,000, I think, for
Mhm.
each. I'm sorry, no, it's 25,000. Because multiply, it's a star, so multiply cost by 10 for frigates. It's 25,000 for another fuel bunker. A drive to upgrade is 100,000.
So can't do that.
And I think you're going to need more power as well. I don't have the Jack Rose spreadsheet handy, but there is an amount of power that you have free. And a drive to upgrade takes 2 power. It's the little hash mark. So that means compared to your drive 1. Now, the nice thing about a drive to upgrade is that each level of drive allows you to travel further on 1 unit of fuel. So what it means is that you still take 6 days to move 2 hexes, but you move 2 hexes at a time, so you only navigate once, and you use 1 fuel for that. So you can actually travel much further on even a drive 2. Drive 3, it's 3 hexes or 1 fuel in 9 days. It's sort of just more efficient with fuel. It's not really.
Yeah. I think we would have to upgrade the power.
Yeah, basically, for
we
you
are-
guys, I think Drive 3 is all you're ever going to need. Going higher than that is only for combat. And you can only get up to a Drive 5, and that's basically you can go across the system on 1 unit of fuel.
But even so, we can't actually afford that.
I don't actually see anything on here that's super useful. You could install an armory. You don't have one right now. That would be 20,000 credits. It would have basic weapons, so you maybe pistols, SMG, that kind of thing, and some ammo, and some basic armor, so your woven body armor, that kind of thing. And you'd have that for free. You couldn't sell that, notably, so don't think you can like invent money that way. Nav computers are nice, but they get expensive, and also you don't need you have a pretty good pilot, so you don't need the extra +2.
Yeah.
Familiar is pretty much any spike course. Yeah, I don't see anything in here.
That's right now really worth getting that I can see
Yeah.
right now. The one that kind of got me was the drive upgrades, potentially.
Yeah, so you want to order all of that, Tacitus?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. What's the total? It's 2,000. Go ahead and do a business roll against your charisma. You go to Space Walmart to find all this stuff, and the Argus web is actually probably hard to find. What's the translator torque do? Hang on. Let me look at 2 things here.
So the translator torque translates a language that you key it to. And I think you suffer some charisma when using it.
Okay, let me look at this real quick. So the Argus web is definitely going to be a little tough to find.
Okay.
And the translator torque, I think it's keyed for 2 languages and will automatically translate one into the other. There is a several second delay. Social charisma through translator suffer a -2. The torque is powered by 1 type A power cell, which lasts for a week. It is keyed, so it's only 1 language to 1 language. You can definitely find them, but it's 1 to 1. And it doesn't change. You can't say I want to do French to English or whatever. So you can buy a couple if you want a couple of languages. You want Portuguese to English or something.
I just want one, and it's Portuguese to English.
All right.
So should I just business roll for all of these, or do we have to do the
all
Argus
but
web
Argus
separate?
Web. So it's going to be a
Okay.
business roll against 1815. We'll just call it 1800, and then I'll do the math on that. Yeah, so you find a guy, he's going to be able to give it to you for $2,000 even.
Can I look somewhere else? Is he just
you're an
the
expert.
guy?
You can re-roll it.
Um,
This is you looking around at multiple places for a deal.
yeah, I'll re-roll it.
The DC is 7, and I'm basing how much it costs around the price point there. He's like 2,000's the best I can do.
2,000 is it then?
So yeah, so you now have those things.
Minus the Argus web.
Minus the Argus web. If you want to get the Argus web, the guy gives you a reference to another place. They're selling them for 500 apiece, but he can be talked down.
I'll think on it.
Okay. Does anybody else want to buy anything? You all spent all that money, all that sweet cash. That
I'm
paper.
banking mine.
I'm gonna recommend Lazarus patches.
Those you can pick up just as many as you need.
I already have one. Plus, I can biostasis.
Yeah.
I also have a med pack.
I might buy a couple Lazarus patches and some other little things.
Always worth having. Turns out, I was reading another story from another game. Insta panels can be really fucking useful. I have to pick this up. Why am I getting cold? Hold on 1 second. I just got a page from work, so I'm going to be muted for a minute while you guys figure out what you want to...
Go for it.
Does anyone know if you have 3 of one item and the encumbrance is 1 for each item? Does that give you a total encumbrance of 3? Does the encumbrance sort of stack?
No, it's just 1. If you have a lot of one item, then it might go up by 1, but it's not linear like that.
Everything good at work?
Yeah, it's DPO3 is whining. I'm not actually on call, like I'm not supposed to be getting these, but I think it's just an update.
I was gonna say, the only thing you're doing potentially is the release tomorrow.
Yeah.
So how does encumbrance affect us? I don't think...
It basically doesn't. Like, I'm not super worried about it. If you're carrying like a bajillion things, I'm gonna give you crap about it. But as long as you're carrying just like not too much stuff.
So if we're not pulling, I forget
Like
his name.
If you were carrying all of the stuff that's on your list, right? Like you're, and you didn't have the backpack, so like you have the grappling launcher, the tent, 20 days worth of rations. So that's 3 person weeks of rations basically. or actually it's like a 1-person week of rations, but the solar recharger and the thermal flares and the Lazarus patches and the toolkit.
Each
and
ration
the
is
Argus.
1 day.
Okay, so yeah, it's then 3-person weeks. That's 3 squares. If you're carrying all of that stuff without the backpack, then I would give you you're having a hard time moving around, you're taking dex penalties, that kind of thing. All your DCs would go up. But with the backpack, you can probably carry most of that without any trouble. You might have a hard time carrying all 10 power cells there and all that other stuff. But you're pretty much right in the range where you can carry that in a backpack. You're doing okay.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, like if you're walking around carrying 30 tents with you everywhere, you're gonna need something to do that with, like a grav sled or a car.
I'm buying 5 Lazarus patches, and I'm done.
Okay. All right, I gotta call my boss and tell him that this shit's broken because he's on call. I'll be right back.
Does anyone know what the stats for the laser deagle were?
I think it was just a laser pistol.
Ooh, let's see, laser.
It looks to be 1d6, range 100/300, mag of 10, attribute dex, tech 4.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. Ooh, what's this?
I'm gonna recommend people buy a grapnel launcher so they can launch rope a far distance.
I was considering that for a second until I saw this name. A suit ripper. Ooh.
Rods that blossom into mace-like balls of fractal razors.
It sounded cooler.
Normally a capital offense. That could be a problem.
That's the other part of it.
But if we kill everyone, who's going to report the crime?
Good point, good point.
All right. Nagios is a raging pile of shit.
Nagios is a raging pile of shit.
But its GUI is so next gen.
Huh. No.
I would like to come to your house and punch you in the throat.
You know, I once wrote a plugin for Nagios for our product, so I feel your pain.
Don't you
Nagios.
I thought you worked in Oracle SQL stuff.
I work in CGBU.
I don't even know what that means.
Global Communications. Wait. Global Business Unit. Communications Global Business Unit.
Do you work for Oracle?
Yeah.
I would like to punch you in the throat.
But I don't work on any of the things you've heard about.
We have had, your company's evil. That's what I want to say. And you should feel bad about yourself.
30 billion a year, baby. I'm making the money symbol. You can't see it, but
to put in perspective, there's currently a bug in your sequel,
which has gone on for okay, hold on.
It's gone on for at least a few months. That's threatening patient
we reported
safety.
it September 25th. It is now November 6th. It is a problem in which a join returns a bad result. It is simply wrong. Like, it is just doesn't do the join right. And it has sat and festered for a full fucking month because nobody gives a shit, apparently, at Oracle about people's fucking lives. And so we're sitting here, we have to, like, work around shit and make sure that people don't fucking die because of the bug in Oracle. It's awful, and I hate it, and I want to punch you in the throat.
What's your support
If I didn't like you as a person, I would punch you in the throat.
I'm so far removed from SQL development, it's not even funny.
Okay. Good. I will not indict all of Oracle then. Except I will, because Java is also a piece of shit, and I don't know what else Oracle...
Whoa there, pump your brakes. Java offers a lot of cool things.
Java is literally one of the worst languages since COBOL.
Those are some fighting words from where I come from.
do you work on Java?
We work in Java.
Well,
Our
yeah,
product
tons of
is
people
written
work in Java. Of course, it is your Oracle, but like if you don't work on Java, you have no dog in the Java fight, as far as I'm concerned.
I have a dog to represent it. I think it gets a bad rap.
I think okay, so I'll give you that it gets a bad rap, but I like Tim. Do you still record these and put them on YouTube?
Oh yeah.
I like that.
you
We go from like RPG, we just blew some guy's arm off to actually that Java has just got a bad rap, and people on a regular basis
Reminds
just
me. I
shit
actually
all
gotta-
over Java.
I
gotta
shit all over
actually-
Java because it's a terrible product.
I don't
I
totally
disagree with that.
I think that Java as a programming language is past its prime. It was great in 1997.
Yeah.
What do you want to do in your language that Java makes difficult?
Metaprogramming, writing code, any sort of like honest to goodness type system hackery. I mean, even C# is better at type system hackery than Java is. And let me tell you about type systems, because I'm a Haskeller. I can tell you all about how type systems work and the things you can make type systems do to make your program awesome. So I already said metaprogramming, but like not only metaprogramming, but like basic metaprogramming is hard. Not even like, oh shit, Opsgenie's going off again. Notification from Opsgenie. Fuck you. Shut up, Opsgenie. Yeah. Anyway, there's I would say there are three main problems with Java. Its runtime is unfortunate to say the least. Like its library setup and that sort of thing, not great. It's not that it's extensive, but it's poorly organized as far as I'm concerned. The metaprogramming situation is really miserable, and metaprogramming is such a useful tool that like not having some degree of support for honest to goodness good metaprogramming, not reflection bullshit. I know that you can do reflection. I've written reflective code. It's a pain in the ass and nobody likes it. And it's not sufficient compared to something like obviously the dynamic language, but even C# has really good like extension methods. If you put extension methods in Java, it would go such a long way to making it a better language to work in from a programmer perspective. And then in addition, the type system is not near. It's all the bad parts of a C type system and none of the good parts. So, yeah, those are my three main complaints with Java. I probably have a few more. It's also verbose as fuck.
That's probably my biggest
That's
one.
fair. That's
It's
fair.
extraorinarily verbose.
And so, to give you some perspective, I spent 2 years writing C#. I wrote Haskell and C# in college, C++, C a little bit. I did a lot of Java in college, and then I spent 2.5 or 3 years writing Ruby, and now I do ops. So I don't do too much coding anymore, precisely because a ton of code is just awful, and I really don't like writing it. So at least not for work, because nobody knows how to code. Anyway,
Those are all fair complaints.
that is this as a caveat and a bone to throw you, because I just shat all over a language that you like. It is certainly not the worst language I've ever had to work in. At one point, I had to write Visual Basic. So at least
I'm so sorry.
my first job, I maintained a finance reporting system by myself right out of college. I was a junior programmer, and they just handed me the finance system, which a guy named Sameep wrote. And I swear to God, his name is Sameep, Sameep. And Sameep was a wonderful gentleman who was an affable and pleasant human being, but
not a good coder.
But Sameep had trouble with understanding the flow of things and chose to reuse code by the line and not by the function. And so there were, like, he wrote probably about I want to say 200,000 lines of Visual Basic that, and then another like 100,000 lines of C# to run this reporting suite, and it was just
That sounds like our product right now.
yeah, but it was a mix of two bad languages. Um,
Well, let's see.
C# is still
Java,
not a good. Well,
JSP, and
yeah, but so
HTML.
yeah,
Three.
so this was Visual Basic, C#, and the ASP.NET templating system, which is like JSP. Um, so let me put it this way: when I looked at the Ecos code for the first time, I got flashbacks to this, but they were like pleasant, like, well, at least it's not this bad flashbacks. Um, yeah, so bad code is bad code, man.
You're telling me. Holy shit.
Anyway,
In the world of big damn heroes, what are we doing?
so I feel like all the characters are just sitting around looking at the camera like, when are the fucking producers of this shit gonna get off this coding? Like, who fucking codes anywhere? We have VI for that. Oh man,
We got to build a weasel out of.
yeah. So that's right. That's what we were doing. We were weaseling out of a bill. So yeah, you can go down to the local like U.S. government office, and it's just like generic building 101. And there are some people behind the counter who are there to process stuff. It's just like a town hall essentially, but bigger. Do you take anybody with you, or is it just you?
Does anyone want to come with me?
I feel like I would definitely not want to go. I would avoid that like the plague.
I'm currently in the middle of uploading all our episodes because I haven't done it.
I'm
since.
getting a fat resounding no. Then it's just me.
All right, get your ass to work, man. So yeah, you get to the counter. You have to wait in line a little bit, and there's a person behind the counter, and they say, "Can I help you?" Actually, I'm sorry.
Yes,
Ma'am, can I help you?
you can. I have this bill here, or I guess this is more of an invoice that I received.
Payment. And they just point down at the other end. Payments are at the other end of the table, sir. Next, please. And she
Well-
starts to gesture someone.
I'd like to dispute some of the finer points of this bill.
Are you intending to go to municipal court, sir?
If that is the avenue for disputing the bill, then yes.
That is the only avenue, sir. Let me get you a court date. Please hold. And she like turns. She's got like a headset in. She's like typing on the computer for a few seconds. It's a big CRT thing. There's a glow in her face and just clickety clackety clickety clackety clickety clack. Your court date is. What date is it today? Your court date is December 27th.
Is there anything we can do to expedite the court date process? I'm leaving planet.
I'm sorry. Your court date is December 27th, 3269.
What year is it?
It's December 19th, 3259.
3269?
10 years
Yes.
from now? Fuck that bill.
You're not there. You can't say shit. And that's just your court date. That's not when the thing is due.
Can I get a hold on the bill until the court case is seen?
Have you filled out Form 378-4-13A Mark IV?
I have not.
Let me get you Form whatever that number was that I definitely don't remember. Actually, you know what I should do? I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to random.org and generate some passwords, and that's how I'm going to figure out forms from now on. So yeah, she turns around and prints out on a dot matrix printer a form that's 800 pages long or something. And she hands you like this stack of paper. It's pretty thick. Just fill this out and return it to me within 1 business day.
All right, I'm going to sit down and start filling it out right now.
Oh, all right, sir. Here's a pen. And she gives you a pen, and it's on a chain that's just a little too short. And it's connected to the table. And she's like, "You need to go sit down over there and fill it out, sir."
Can I roll a luck check to see if I brought a pen?
It's actually it's just a stylus. You can do it with your finger too, but she give you like a stylus because it's like a data slate. It's like an iPad essentially that she gives you.
Okay, I'll go sit down and start trying to fill this out.
I guess it's not a dot matrix printer in that case, but I really wanted it to be a dot matrix printer. So I don't know. Maybe you have a pen. You're fine. You just go fill the thing out. Um, yeah. So roll bureaucracy against your intelligence. Yeah. So you fill the thing out within the space of an hour and a half or so. And you go back up. You have to wait in line again. It takes a while, but you get back up, and she goes, "Hello, sir. My name is," and she mumbles a little bit. "Can I help you?"
Yeah, I'm from earlier. I've got the form I'm to fill out to put a hold on the
Is
bill
that
until
your
the court
form
date.
Z? Is that your form ZGCP 2SHX-1?
I look at the paper and read the form number off of it.
It is. It is your ZGP
Okay, then yes.
ZGCP 2SHX-1. That's maybe just a little too long for me to remember. I'm gonna make this 4 characters instead of 8. Um. Oh, it has to be at least 6. You piece of shit.
6 still wasn't that bad. Better than
Okay.
8.
Now I'm not gonna remember what the name of the form is. And so she takes the form from you and looks at her computer and looks at the form and looks at her computer and she's like, "Your court date says it's December 27, 3269. Is that correct, sir?"
It is.
She looks at the paper and she looks at the thing. Says, "I can put an injunction for. The computer is telling me 2 years, sir. After 2 years, you will need to pay the full amount."
Can I resubmit the injunction after 2 years?
"You would need to fill out Form 3EN2TU-1, sir."
Would I have to do that now or
Yes,
in 2
sir.
years? Okay.
You'd have to
Where is
fill
that
out
form?
one for each extension you want to file. You'll need to do that ahead of time, sir.
I'd like to file 4 extensions.
Yes, sir. One moment. She clicks on her computer again, prints out 4 more forms, and they're all the same, basically. And she hands you another stack of digital paper that was printed on this dot matrix and your original form back. She says, "Fill all of these out and return it to me within 1 business day, sir."
Okay, I go to sit down and start filling out the forms again.
Make another bureaucracy roll.
I've already forgotten what this is against. Wisdom?
Int.
It's
You are working the system, man. Yeah, so you fill out the forms, you dog right through it. Takes you about an hour and a half. You get back up there after waiting in line again. "Hello, my name is. Can I help you today, sir?"
Yes, I'm filing extension forms to an existing extension until my court date for fine.
And she takes the papers from you and goes through the system again. "It seems, sir, that this fine is due to trespassing on a military event. Is that correct, sir?"
It was military training. I'm not sure what you would define as a military event.
"Military training is an event, sir."
Then you would be correct.
"I have to refer you to my boss, sir. Hold on one moment." She turns around. "Marty!" And some fat, slovenly asshole walks up and, "What do you want? This guy did," and she starts saying more acronyms. It's very apparent that filling out forms is probably not going to get you through this process. You're going to need to find someone to just do away with this paperwork in one fell swoop. The fat, slovenly guy walks up and he goes, "Hi, my name's Marty. What can I do for you, sir?"
Hi, Marty. My name's Tacitus. I've got this invoice here for trespassing on a military event. I did not receive prior notice of said military event happening, and so I'd like to dispute that in court, which I have a
Sir,
court date.
subject to statute 6T2CJW-4, prior notice is not necessary in the event of a military operation of some degree of secrecy. You are still liable for trespassing in that event, sir. I could send you to court, but you would be required to pay any.
Such a dramatic pause. Such a dramatic pause. That- well, my network pooped itself.
Is that working now?
Oh God, you doubled.
I did?
Wait, Paul, say
Everyone's
something.
doubled.
Okay, everybody hang up. All right, are we
Is
good?
that better?
What
Okay.
happened?
Everybody
I
sound
don't
off.
know.
Hi.
I'm here.
Hello?
Okay, yeah, we're good. There's no echoing.
Did
I think we're all
Skype die?
Skype had a
Momentary
momentary
seizure.
momentary possession by the devil. So this interaction goes similarly to the other one. However, the personnel behind the counter are somewhat more explicit in what they're looking for. One of the people that you interact with immediately basically says, "I can't do anything for you," but rubs his hands together in a "give me money" motion.
I ignore it.
He directs you to someone said, "Okay." He directs you to basically to go back to the other building where you just were, and that they will be able to help you.
Okay, I go back to the other building.
So you know your way there this time. You're able to get there pretty quickly. It takes you about 10 minutes. You wait in line again. It's now probably nearing 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Um, people are noticeably, there are fewer people behind the counter now. But the same lady is there, and you wait in line again and get up to the front of the counter. What do you tell her?
Hi, it's me again. I went to the military base to file an extension for the existing extension on the injunction against my bill, and I was told to return here.
I don't know why they told you to return here, sir. We can't do anything for you. It's a military matter.
Would you happen to know the specifics of the military matter?
Sir, I can't. I'm not at liberty to reveal that information, even if I did know it. It's a military matter.
So if I were to pay this invoice, would I pay it to you or the military?
You would pay it to the Unified Society government, sir.
Are you a representative of the Unified Society government?
I'm a representative of the local magistrate, sir.
Okay, where can I find a representative of the Unified Society government?
Maddie! In the same slovenly fat guy comes around the corner and says, "What do you want?" And she says, "This guy needs to talk to a representative of the..." And she mumbles for a minute, and he comes over and he goes, "Sir, my name is Marty. What can I do for you?"
Hi, Marty. My name's Tacitus. I'm trying to file an injunction against a hold on a bill I have to pay, and I was told I need to speak to a member of the Unified Society government.
Well, sir, if you need to speak to a member of the Unified Society government, you're going to need to go to the local hall for the municipal court. And he's rubbing his hands together, and he's like, "You can make this go away." That's what he's looking at you with his eyes. And he gives you more directions to another building somewhere on the other side of town.
I ignore it, and I start walking to the other side, the other building.
Make a navigation roll.
Is Tacitus like half Jew?
So you walk around for about 2 hours and you cannot find this building. In fact, at one point you think you're on the right track. You follow all the directions very carefully, and you walk. You're about to take your last turn. You're like, it must be around this corner, and there's just a river, like right where the building should be, and it's like a river that goes through the city. And you can't find this building for the life of you. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna call the ship.
Okay. Clippy picks up. "Hi, it seems like you're trying to call the Jack Rose. Can I help you?"
Yeah, hi Clippy. I need directions to a Unified Society government municipal building.
It seems like you're trying to find directions to the Unified Society municipal building. That's in, and he lists off a location on Belanda, which is the capital of the Unified Society. That's the system. It's
Okay.
on Belon Zandua. Two sectors over, two little hexes over.
Okay, yeah, I see it. All right, good to know. I take a cab back to the ship.
Okay. You arrive there sometime later. It's about 7 o'clock in the evening.
I do have a question though. Was the existing injunction, the 2-year, actually filed?
Make a bureaucracy check against your intelligence. See if you can find that on the net public records search. It was not. You were able to find it though, which is good.
Okay. I'm gonna call the crew to the ready room.
What's up, Cap?
I had an interesting series of events trying to get us out of this bill. We're gonna have to go to Belond to further investigate the matter. It is technically on our way, so there's that.
I love this game so much. I like that we can go from blowing a guy's arm off to Tacitus
Fucking government forms?
doggedly spending an entire day of his character's life walking around, clearly dealing with people who just want a bribe. They just want to be handed like 500 credits or something It's literally there's a section of the book for this, but Tass is like, no, it's the principle of the thing. Damn it! Oh God, it's not actually. It'd probably, according to the book, it'd be about 50 credits. Like you put 50 credits in the hand of any one of these people, and the matter disappears. But no, it's the principle. You're gonna spend hundreds of credits on fuel. You're gonna go to the fucking Supreme Court. You're gonna fight this case.
He's the captain.
I have a belief telling the truth is always the correct course of action. I feel like it.
That absolutely just got you in trouble. Like that. This whole quest is getting you in trouble. This is the trouble that you're getting in fighting this case. You can take 100 XP for that. That's amazing. I can love this game so much. That right there is shit that would not happen in D&D. And it would not happen in Dark Heresy. Though it fucking should in Dark Heresy, because that's literally like half of the horror of the 40k universe is the bureaucracy.
We got in trouble with the bureaucracy plenty in Dark Heresy.
Yeah, but usually they resorted to shooting you.
That's a good point.
Or your demon-hosted selves.
Do we have anything else we want to do on this planet before we go?
I don't think so.
I'm good.
Where did Peanuts want to meet us?
We want to meet you.
Conseco.
Conseco Balestros.
Yeah, it's right on the way. We're gonna have to stop for fuel anyways.
All right. Get to navigating, buddy.
Make it so, Judith, and I walk out of the ready room, immediately onto the bridge, where I sit down.
Yeah.
Did you just do that? Like, I think Judith and I would have had a little back and forth. Like, what the fuck is this guy's problem?
Yeah.
Give me another roll. Oh, what? Are you an expert or are you not
I
an
am
expert?
an expert, and I'm going to re-roll that.
Damn it.
Hey!
All right. That's your reroll, though, so you got 3 more jumps. I have a chance. You land on Bolanda Zandua, the capital of the government. You go to refuel, I assume?
Yep, I'm just going to deduct that.
All
While
right.
Tacitus is taking care of that, I want to put up another ad and try to get my gun unlocked again.
Okay, so
It's also
go ahead
Christmas.
and roll. Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
Does that mean the government office is closed?
Roll a luck check. There is a group of, there's a strong Muslim presence here. You are lucky, though, in that the atheists run the government. So it is open. Oh, man, I really wish you failed that luck check. Oh, my God. Yeah, so it's open. Al, you can roll a business check against your charisma. Okay, yeah, you get a couple of responses from some various people. There's one that is a larger gun manufacturer and one that is a smaller gun shop.
I'll take the smaller gun shop.
Okay. Yeah, so I think we split screen a little bit on this, and we're going to alternate. We watch as Tacitus and Judy, what are you doing during this time?
I'm maintaining the ship.
Okay, so you're just like checking out astronautical stuff.
Pretty much.
Okay. Yeah, so we split screen and we see Judy getting actual work done. We see Tacitus probably wasting more of his time. And we see Al walking into his gun shop. And behind the counter, you see a relatively tall, dark-haired man whose hands are greasy and calloused. And he goes, "Hello, what can I do for you?"
I acquired a gun, but it's got a biometric lock on it, and I need it removed.
Biometric. I see. Well, let me take a look.
I give him the gun.
And he puts down the table and he says, "Oh, Matilda. Oh, that's a nice name. Well, let's see here." And he starts to like handle the gun, look at it. He's very cautious with it. You know, he doesn't do anything unsafe, but he's like looking at the gun. He breaks it open, so like a break loaded thing. So you pop it open and put your shells in. And he's like looking at it, kind of figuring out the gun. And he looks at the biometric parts, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, I think I've seen something like this before." And the camera sort of jumps over to Tacitus. He's walking into a government building, and there's a short blonde woman behind the counter, and she says, "Well, hello. How can I help you?"
Hi, I recently received an invoice for trespassing on a military training event.
Oh, that's
And-
very serious, sir. What can I do to help you with that?
I'd like to dispute the invoice.
Well, I see. What is your dispute, sir?
We were not aware we were trespassing until we were trespassing, and we received no prior notification.
I see, sir. Well, you know, subject to, and she quotes the same statute that the last guy quoted. Prior awareness is not valid defense in this scenario.
Out of character.
Yes.
What was the work I did when I looked in the law files?
What you found was that there is no specific law that says that trespassing is a crime, but there is precedent for someone being prosecuted for doing so. So it's not a common like. So they follow common law. I don't know how familiar you are with legal
Yep.
theory, but so they follow common law. So they have some set of statutes, and then they have the precedent that has been followed. And so they are quoting statutes at you that, as far as you know, based on your research, do not exist.
Okay, so I actually looked at the law, and I couldn't find a law against trespassing.
Well, sir, I mean, it's just if you look and sir, just hold on one moment. I'll get you. Hang out. And she gets up from the desk and goes to retrieve someone. And yeah, we snap back to Judy, who's like looking at the engine and going, "What did these fucking guys do?" And then we snap over to Tacitus, and not Tacitus. We snap back to Al. And the guy behind the counter goes, and they've actually moved. They're no longer behind the counter. They're like in his shop. And he's at a bench, and he's like, "Well, you see, sir, it's a little bit complicated. This is triggered by DNA. And if you don't have the right DNA all the time you're holding it, it'll just not do anything. It'll sit here and stick."
Can you remove the lock?
Well, you see here, and he's got the gun open, and he's pointing at some of the mechanisms. He goes, "You see here, the electronic firing mechanism is wired directly into the biometric lock. I don't know who did this, but they weren't a professional. This sort of modification is something you do on the street. Now, I should be able to remove it, but I'm not sure that it'll work afterward. It'll be a fine showpiece, certainly, but it's very complicated work."
Do what you gotta do, man. My faith's in you.
He goes, "Well, thank you so much for putting your faith in me, sir. You're going to have to give me at least a day to work on it."
Absolutely, man. You take as much time as you need.
All right. And he goes back to the counter. He leaves the gun there and goes to the counter and writes up a receipt and like basically a slip that says you own this gun. He asks for some identification from you. Do you give it to him?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so he writes down your name, takes all the appropriate stuff, does a background check real quick to make sure you're legit. It comes up clean. However, is this the world that you're wanted for questioning on?
No, because it's on Asa. Ah!
You
I know on
are...
Balestros we gotta go meet some guys.
Yes, you are correct. So, yeah, he comes up clean on this world. And that was good. He says, "All right, it'll be about a day, maybe a day and a half. I'll call you when it's finished."
Fantastic.
All right, are you going to be on world for that time?
Absolutely.
All right, laddie. And he says, "Thank you for letting me work on your gun. And thank you for patronizing my business," which is some Irish name or something. And yeah, you walk out. The camera goes back to Judith, whose arms are deep in the machinery of the ship, working on something, I'm sure. And we jump over back to Tacitus, who's now sitting with a tall gentleman, very sort of slick back hair, nice suit. Um, that is not an accent. That is also not an accent. I just rolled the same thing several times. And he says, "Well, sir, I understand that you have a problem with this here invoice.
That's correct.
Now, sir, it appears that you were trespassing on military property during an exercise.
That is also correct.
Well, of course, you know the case of Richard v. Mortimer indicates that that is not a legal situation. You were breaking the law.
Yeah, but that's a common law, not a U.S. law.
Well, sir, you understand that the function of the common law is to allow the law to expand and contract as necessary to deal with new situations. Now, we could take this to court, sir, but it does get expensive. Now, you could fight that case, but precedent is on the side of the government here. Sir, here's what I'm going to advise to you. If you would like to fight this case, go ahead and get yourself a lawyer and get him to file an injunction. They are significantly better at it than most civilians. I understand it's a frustrating process. They will be able to file an injunction, get the charge held, and they will be able to set you up with appropriate trial proceedings for such. However, I should advise you, and this is obviously I work for the government, so obviously I'm not necessarily unbiased in this scenario. However, if you do so and you do lose, lawyers are expensive. Court cases are expensive. You might find yourself paying far more than 10,000 credits, sir. Or I'm sorry, it says 500 for the fuel. I assume you're not disputing that.
That's correct.
Yeah, so the 9,500 credits, sir. Apologize for that.
Okay. I'll see about getting a lawyer to file an injunction.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. And he hands you a card and says, if you have any other trouble, you feel free to call me. I do have a couple good recommendations for lawyers, and he hands you a couple other cards of like his friends. If you need one, you need one on the planet, what have you. They're good men. I know them, trust them. If I were in this situation, those are who I call.
Can I try to read him and see if he's lying to me or not? Is that a thing
Yeah.
I can do?
Yeah, perception, wisdom. Yeah, so, I mean, he's a lawyer, so by definition, he's probably lying to you. You're not really sure what he's lying about. It might be that he's just handing you some cards of his buddies to try to drive them some business, or it might be that he's lying to you about the whole fucking thing. But you can't really pick out what.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your time, sir. Take the cards.
Sure, no problem. And he shakes your hand and heads out back to his office, screaming about some case that he's working on to one of his assistants.
I am gonna pull up Spacebook and look for lawyers. And I have the lawyer price sheet. You can actually employ a lawyer.
Yeah.
Um,
People always ask what the bureaucracy skill is for. This is what it's for, man. This is what it's for. Bureaucracy, artist skill. If you're ever in a fucking art gallery and you want to rob an art gallery, there you go. Artist skill. Boom. You want to appraise some art? Boom. There it is.
so are these numbers like quality of employee? Those is
What are you looking for?
right. So
Page
level
you on?
1, I'm on page.
Yeah, so you can pay $10 a day for like public defender level lawyer fee, right? You're talking bottom of the, it's like paralegal, right? You're not even getting a lawyer, you're getting someone who kind of works for one. 25 a day is like an average lawyer. If you were just trying to like beat a ticket, like for a parking violation, you probably hire just 25 a day. 400 a day is the lawyer fee for like the Cochrane of lawyers, like the guy who like would represent OJ. If you want to get off that badly, that's the guy you hire. And what these will do practically is whatever DCs come up with respect to this case, they will affect how bad those DCs are for you.
So that would be, I would pay him like 400 every day until the court case, or
Yeah, you're keeping him on retainer. You would pay him for business days, so it'd be 400 times 5 days a week. Because it makes the math easier. All
right,
it's 2,000 a week. That's 8,000 a month.
I'm gonna call the most expensive, best lawyer I can find just to talk to him about this.
Okay, so you're gonna pay a retainer fee for a day for that. So you'll pay 400 credits.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So you find the one that is listing the highest. Oh God, I can't believe I just rolled that. That's wonderful. The highest amount per day listing, right? He's got good reviews on Space Yelp and stuff. I don't know what lawyers get rated on, but he makes a really good tuna melt, and also he's a good lawyer. Space Yelp for lawyers. Anyway, so yeah, you call him up and he answers the phone and goes, yes, this is Johnson, Wales, Price and Young. What can I do for you?
Hi, my name's Tacitus of the Jack Rose. I'm calling to put you on retainer for a day so we can discuss a legal matter.
Yes, very well, sir. Let me put you through to our scheduling secretary. I have to get into the British mode of pronouncing words, which is weird. And so he puts you on hold, and like very fancy classical music plays. If you want to roll artist to find out what's playing, I can tell you.
I'm good.
See, boom, artist, motherfucker. Anyway, yeah. So a few minutes passed, and another woman picks up the phone and schedules a time for you to come in and meet with one of the lawyers there.
Is that time today?
It is tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. in downtown Andua. Okay, so finally, like, that all closes up, and we cut back to Judith, who's pulled her hands out of the engine, having fully serviced it. You can go ahead and knock off 500 credits from the next maintenance fee, because you service the engine yourself. And she looks very satisfied with her work.
Okay.
Actually, can you roll a Tech Astronautics against your Dexterity? Yeah, I'm going to go with Dexterity. Dex or Int, whichever you prefer.
We'll go with Int because there's actually a bonus there.
Okay. So you're like probably, yeah. So yeah, definitely take off your 500. And yeah, it's basically you got into the engine and tweaked it and fixed some gear ratios or something. I don't know anything about engines. And yeah, so as you finish up, the other two guys kind of walk into the ship at the same time, and they see you, and you're covered in grease and dirt. And what do you do?
Well, the engine's looking actually reasonable now. You should have seen it before I started digging my hands into that thing. Dear God.
Solid work, Judith.
Thanks, Cap. I'm gonna go get a shower now.
All right. So what do you get? Do you do anything else before the next day?
I'm gonna try to do a little read up on this lawyer, see what I can figure out about him.
Okay. What is that going to be? I feel like it's really like profession lawyer, I guess. Like, you want to read about how he is as a lawyer?
Yeah, I sort of want to get a sense of, is he really competent or not?
I'd say that's perception, probably. Perception, intelligence.
Okay.
You're like reviewing his past cases and that kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah, this guy is good. This guy is really good. He's worked on a lot of big cases. The partnership there has a guy who used to be a criminal lawyer, a guy who used to be like a business contract lawyer. They've got, tax lawyers and all sorts of different people working for them. But like the main set of guys were a pair of criminal lawyers who worked. They were trial lawyers, basically. They were both prosecutors, and they both had very high conviction rates, very, very effective guys.
Okay.
Anybody else want to do anything?
Nah.
Nope.
I think
Waiting
I'm
on the
just
gun
gonna.
shop.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go take a nice long bubble bath.
Okay. Clippy, as you're drawing the bath, says, "It seems like you're trying to take a bath. Would you like help with that?"
No, thank you.
Are you sure? I'm really good at taking bubble baths.
Yes.
And he's got like a shower cap on and a loofah on the screen.
I
And he
would.
goes, "Are you really sure? I could help,
Clippy, I would love some privacy, please.
but I could help."
I
And
understand.
he like
I
the
think I'm good.
hologram of him holds out the loofah.
I understand, but I got this. I got this, Clippy. Thank you, though.
He looks really sad and sort of hops off screen.
I get into the bath and just bathe and read a book and drink space wine.
Okay. Does anybody else want to do anything? Okay. So next day comes around. Around 9 a.m., you get a call from. Oh god, my brain just stopped. You get a call from the guy from the Irish guy. I don't think I gave
What's
him.
his name?
I don't think I gave him a name. His name is Jimmy O'Fallon.
He was part of a law firm. If he's not one of the partners, I don't know if I want
You
to.
talking about the
No,
gun
not
store
you.
guy?
I'm talking about the gun store guy.
Oh, okay.
Gun store
The
guy,
Irish
yeah.
gun store guy. His name is Jimmy O'Fallon, and he calls you up and he says, "Hi, is this Alistair?
This is speaking.
I think I have some news on your gun.
All right, I'll be right down.
All right, I'll see you in an hour or so.
Yeah, be right
All
there.
right." And he hangs up. And yeah, the lawyers have a meeting with you at 10 as well. So I think we go back to split screen. Judith is probably just relaxing after the hard work she did yesterday. And oh Jesus. Train of thought. Fuck. I keep getting emails about the stupid thing that's broken. Yeah, so you head into your meeting, and while you're waiting, you see the pictures, like these painted portraits of the four partners. And then one of the portraits, basically one of those guys, comes out and greets you and says, "Hello, yes, I'm Stephen Young. What can I do for you?"
Hi, Mr. Young. My name's Tacitus.
And he ushers you back to his office, where he has a couple of he has like a decanter with some brown liquid of some description in it. And he says, "Would you like some scotch?"
No, I'm good.
All right. And he sits down on his side of the desk and he says, "What can I do for you?"
So I need from you whether I guess I need advice on whether it's worth pursuing this case I have. So here's the deal. Flying my ship, we go to a planet, Matacina, and there's a military exercise there, and I get a fine for trespassing on the exercise. Like,
Oh,
give
yes,
'em all
yes,
the paper
of course.
and stuff. I need to know, is it possible we can beat this fine, or should I just pay it?
Yes. Did they quote Richard V. Mortimer at you?
They did?
Of course they did. Those plebeians. Well, it. How much was the fine?
10,000. Well, no, it's 9,500 something.
I see. And he like reaches out for the invoice or whatever. Yes, 9,500. Yes, of course. Well, given such a small sum, it may be cost neutral at the very least. I wouldn't handle this myself. It's a little below my pay grade, as you know. But I do have a very promising young lawyer who I think could handle this case very well. The fee would be significantly less, of course. In such a case, you may be able to come out at the very least breaking even. However, I do think you might be able to set some precedents to prevent such things in the future. Um, that would be my best advice to you.
Do you think we can win this case? Is this winnable?
I think, yes, I think the case is winnable. However, the cost of the case may be as much as 95 or even slightly more. 9,500 credits, of course. Again, giving it to one of the junior partners here would be probably the most fiscally prudent uh, uh, decision that we could make. Someone of my stature is perhaps more than is needed for such a thing.
All right. Let me meet this junior partner of yours.
Very well, let me call him in. And he hits the button. He goes, James, would you please report to my office as soon as you're available? And someone chirps back over and says, yes, sir, of course. And he comes in a few moments later, and he's got a nice leather file fold thing in his hands with a pen sticking out. It's an actual pen too. It's not like it's stylus or anything. It's a honest to goodness pen. And he's coming. He's got a smart suit on. Looks like a nice guy. He's maybe how old is your character?
Looking. I don't actually know. Did I enter that number somewhere?
No, but you can just make it up.
32.
Yes, he's probably a little younger than you. He's maybe like 28, 29. And he looks over and he says, "Yes, sir. What can I do for you?" And he's like, "Yeah, this young man here." And the older guy, the bigger lawyer, the guy who's a full partner, is probably in his 60s. He's quite a bit older. This gentleman right here has an interesting case involving Richard V. Mortimer. I believe that it is something we could argue and potentially set some precedent. I think it'd be just right for you, given your work on what was it? Rockland v. I forget. And anyway, I think it would be just right for you. I would like for you to talk to him. He's paid the retainer for me for the day, so for you for the week, and get details from him and present him with a case plan. And yes, sir, absolutely, absolutely. And he looks at you and says, "Hi, my name's." Let me generate a name. 1 second. Think. My name's Henry Burke, and I'm happy to talk to you about this. Why don't we come to my office and we'll get out of Mr. Young's hair.
Okay.
And he sort of like he turns beet red when he says out of his hair, and then you immediately notice that Mr. Young does not have any hair. And you guys walk out of the office somewhat quickly, and he asks you all the same information that you've given everybody else. And he says, "Yeah, I think this is winnable. It will be pretty tough. The government really likes this rule because it's so vague, and it's very easy for them to apply it in a lot of cases and make a fair amount of money via this precedent. So it'll be something they fight, but I think we can win. We have a good case here."
Is there any chance of recovering some of our legal fees if we win?
He says, "Well, in cases like this that aren't civil cases, typically the government doesn't pay legal fees. We might be able to get some outside support if you find other people who've been affected by this. If we can file a class action suit, it's a lot more cost effective because we can split the cost of the single cost across far more people, which means that any settlement we get could also be split in the same way. You might be able to come out ahead, but that's a much bigger case. It'll take a lot longer to deal with."
Would that be your office trying to find other?
Our office, and if you were able to find any more, it wouldn't hurt. I assume. What do you do for a living?
I'm
obviously,
an independent contractor.
Yeah, obviously you own a ship because you're flying around. So, or work on a ship, maybe. I assume you're the captain, since
I am
You're
the
filing.
captain.
Yeah. So if you're able to find anybody else affected by this this law, then that would be helpful. We would obviously put out what information we could and try to find more defendants, but um, for a class action suit, the more the merrier, basically.
All right, all right. So how long do you think it would take to actually get a verdict on this?
Well, the court systems as they are, it could be as long as a year or two. But we could definitely file an injunction to prevent you from having to pay almost immediately. We should be able to get that through probably by the end of the month.
And what are your fees for 2 years?
Well, certainly, my fees are less than Mr. Young's. I charge, I'm billed at 25 credits per day, business week. So I think that's 400 and something a month, 500.
Depends on the month, doesn't it?
Well, I think, and he says you'd have to talk to the secretary. She has details. I think we charge by month, and it's prorated. We'll get you a
Okay.
monthly quote.
All right, I'm ready to roll with this then. I think we've got a good shot at this, and even if we
All right.
don't,
His eyes light up. He's very happy about this.
all right. What's the next step?
Well, I'll refer you to my secretary, and she'll give you a quote on the retainer fee, and I'll get to filing this injunction immediately. That should prevent you from having to pay any bills. If you receive any bills, send them to me. Don't pay them. You can send them via courier if they're in paper form, but you probably get them electronically. You can just forward them right along, and then we will fight this case.
Okay, good. You can always reach me at the Jack Rose. Here's some contact information.
And he takes it and gives it to his assistant. And yeah, he's like, very, very good, sir. I gotta go write down that you hired a fucking lawyer. Yeah, it's gonna be. You talk to the secretary who does all the billing, and it's gonna be $500 a month, every month, for now. And then as you find more defendants, that number will go down a little bit.
If we find any.
If you find any, and go looking, put out ads, the paper.
Okay, I've taken out the 400
Okay, 500 a month. Oh, you and the 400. So
just for the day.
And I think he probably says the 400 will cover you to the end of this month, and certainly, and then for January you'll have to pay the 500.
Okay, that's good enough for me.
All right, fucking class action lawsuit. Great. I don't know what I just got myself into. I have to go fucking learn how to be a goddamn lawyer. God damn it. I've only watched so many episodes of Suits, okay?
First we see combat with losing limbs, and now we're going to court.
We go combat with losing limbs to talking about programming languages out of character to fucking Michael behind the fucking screen and getting
This is
pushed
important,
around.
Okay.
Fucking opening up a goddamn court case. I fucking love this game. Oh man. Failed to bribe the right people. Started class action suit against the government about the 9,500 credit bill for trespassing. Lawyer's name is Henry Burke. A young, flat accent. Eager. Okay. All right. So what's the date right now, Tim?
26th of December.
26th of December. All right. We're gonna call it there. You have hired a lawyer. Everybody's back. Oh, gun. So we won't call it there. We're gonna do the gun thing. And I think you get there and immediately he hears the door open, but he's in the back with the gun. And he looks over at you, or he like leans back and sort of says, come. No, let me get in the accent. Oh God. Well, come on back here, Al. Come on all the way back.
Walk on back.
And
What's going on?
You walk into the shop area, and he's got the gun in pieces, and he's like, "Well, I was able to remove the biometric lock, you see. However, there is a small problem.
Okay, how small?
So you see right here," and he starts pointing at the different mechanisms. He goes, "You see right here, the biometric lock was playing the role of this particular pin, and they don't make that sort of pin anymore. And I have no idea where to source one. You see," and he shows you like a 3D model of it, and he goes, "You can't 3D print these anymore because they don't make the right material. So we're going to need to find the right material for that." And he gives you like a piece of like a data slate thing, and it's like showing all the specs of this material. He goes, "Now I can machine it, but I don't have the parts. I don't have the material. So you're going to have to find it. Now, I've heard that I have this," and he kind of like looks around the room, "but I don't have it up here, if you know what I mean.
Okay, where do they have it?
In well, have you ever heard of a system called Collude?"
No.
So, it's not totally legal what I'm asking you to do. What it is we need to import some material from the Eeples Pay Republicae, or Epublic Ray? I don't know how to pronounce that in Pig Latin. We have to, from the other country, yeah? You understand
Yeah.
now? Down in Collude, that's the system. There's the planet there. One moment, let me find it in my notes.
HO507.
Yeah, that's where it is. Let me find the planet. Collude. It's the planet Mumtazi. It's a weird fucking name, I know. But when you go there, they create this material out of the planet itself. There's this metal there. It's the local specialty. And it's this, I need a name for a metal. I don't think my generator does that.
Unobtainium.
It's not unobtainium. Fuck you.
Obtainium?
It is obtainium, technically, but real name, no. Other gens.
Paulanium?
Polonium. That already is a thing. Polonium.
Not palladium. Paulanium.
Scientific plant names. Wow, it doesn't generate fucking metals. Piece of shit. God damn it. Oh, metal element names right there. Fuck yeah. It's called Pronix. Pronyx. And you get some of that. I'll be able to fashion this element. I need probably about 10 or 20 pounds of the stuff. I need a bunch. It's because when you compress it, you see, you come up with this special metal, has a special property that we need for this to work.
That sounds good. Can I leave the gun here with you?
I suppose you can.
All right.
If you want to take it with you, that's fine too. I'll be able to take it apart again. It's not that hard. I know that some people, maybe don't feel comfortable with that. But if you're comfortable, then I'm comfortable keeping it.
I'll leave it here with you. I'll get you the material. We'll get it there. We'll get it done.
He goes, "Well, you do understand that it's illegal to transport that material."
That's okay. You leave that to me, buddy, and I give him a nice, creepy wink.
Looks at you. "Boy, are you a bit of the Fae?" And he like moves his hand to the side, sort of in a gesture.
No, man. I've just had a really weird week.
"All right, laddie. Well, if you get me that material, I can fix this thing. Now, I have one other thing to tell you, which I think you're going to like.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I was able to keep it working. The biometric lock. Yeah?
Oh,
I'll be
that's
able to I'll be able to rekey it to you, sir.
fantastic.
That's how good Jimmy O is at his job.
Oh, see, what was his first name?
Jimmy.
Jimmy O'Fallon.
Yes. A name unashamedly lifted from Sons of Anarchy, because I couldn't think of another Irish name.
What planet are we on?
You are on Ballond Zandua, the capital of the Unified Society.
Okay, making notes. All right, well, I will take care of the material, and I'll get back to you.
All right, laddie. And he packs up all the pieces into like he's actually got like a foam inset that he put in a box, and he's put all the pieces in it so that it's safe. And he locks it up, puts a padlock on it, and brings it over to his safe. When you get it, just let me know, and don't use it over the phone if you know what I mean. The name.
Absolutely.
And he goes back to his other work, and you walk out. So, there you go. I need to write that down too, so don't forget.
A lot of accomplishments this game.
Many accomplishments.
Technically, did I get my goal finished of unlocking Matilda, even though the gun's not useful? Because it has no firing pin. It's unlocked.
Same deal as before. You can get experience now, or you can get experience later. Later will be more. And it's not going to be a small amount more.
I'll wait.
Let me put it this way. I'm going to have to go into your thing and tweak the difficulty of that mission.
Okay.
Because I lowballed it a little bit. Does that give you an indication of how much more
Yes.
experience you're going to get? Okay.
Yes.
The smuggling part makes it a lot harder. Let me write down. All right. And then Al found a guy to fix Matilda, needs pronics, about 20 pounds, to create the missing parts he needs to repair it. Pronics only found on Khulud Mumtazi. Oops. Needs to be smuggled back. Okay. So the final date was December 26th, 3259. Correct?
Correct.
You will owe maintenance in 4 days. That should be knocked down by 500 if you've not already done that.
I have a note to knock it down by 500 for the month.
Okay. Yeah. Good session, everybody.
Good session.
You killed a
Good
guy.
session.
You killed a guy. You dealt with the bureaucracy. You started a class action lawsuit, and you figured out that you need to become smugglers. Good job.
Good session.
Good sesh.
All right, I'm gonna go play Overwatch.
And I am going to go take a shower and pass out.
Later, people.
Hopefully
Later.
in that order.
Yeah, you should.